All right, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to yet another episode of Bracket Up. Today we've got a great one on tap for you. We're really going into each other a lot. We're picking some of the worst hobbies that we have. We threw them into a bracket. I think there's 30 or so,
29.
29 of the worst hobbies we could come up with that we do on a daily, weekly basis. We're going to find out which one is the worst. You guys excited to hate on each other today?
Of course.
Doesn't sound like it.
Of course. Of course.
I mean, does everyone... Okay, we haven't done this in a while. Does everyone have one they think is the winner in their head?
Not really, actually, for me.
I have no idea what could win this.
I do. Oh, shit. I forgot. I have a desktop now, and it just turned on, and all of a sudden, my face got brighter.
That's a good thing.
Sure.
We can see more of your pearly whites.
Ew, gross.
Okay.
Well, I wrote one down. Most people most people on this podcast will know probably what I picked.
Yes, we do. That's okay, though. All right, before we get started, you guys know the drill by now. We just go one by one and decide which is the worst hobby, put it to a vote, move it on to the next round until we get a clear winner. I'll go down and introduce everybody, and then we can get started. As usual, underneath me in the Zoom chat, the man who shares the same name and who I just learned will be naming his firstborn son himself, his own name, and my name, Andy Misek. How you doing, Andy?
Good. I'm naming him after you, actually.
Oh, man, that feels good. That's some positive energy today.
Also, I'm repping Waffalo Bill again.
I like seeing that. You need to wear that shirt every day.
I'll probably be changing before I go out today.
Are you offended? Like you
should show the Waffle Bill love.
I did
really
wear
should.
I did wear the gobbledygooker one out multiple times now.
Good man. All right, underneath Andy is Dave Big Bear Holloway, the former anime master. Dave, did you ever renegotiate a title shot in your contract?
I think we can all agree it's not needed, and it should just default back to me within seconds. So
all right, I'll try and remember that for next week. All right, underneath Dave is Greek Lightning himself, Tom Kairos. Tom, how are you today?
Hey, doing good. How are you?
Wonderful. It's good to see your voice.
See your
Yes,
voice.
I'm keeping that shit
like,
in.
wait, what?
I can see it, and I can hear your face, Tom.
All right.
Underneath Tom, Julian, you're wearing the pink hoodie today, right?
I am wearing the pink hoodie today.
Oh, that's good. Are you ready to giggle today?
Always. I'm the giggling
Awesome,
king.
guys. I am super excited. Before we get started, just a quick plug of following us on Twitter and Instagram, Bracket Up and Bracket _up. You can also listen to us on like Apple Podcasts and Anchor, right? And there were
Anchor, Spotify, Google,
That's the one.
and then all the other goofy ones that Anchor automatically puts you on.
Perfect. And then there's always our YouTube channel. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, smash it even, bash it, crush it, whatever you want. Let's blow these numbers up. I want to be in the thousands by the end of next week.
Oh no!
Yep.
Man.
Well, no one on the podcast actually shares the video, so fat chance, buddy.
We'll try. Maybe this will be
We'll do our part.
Awesome.
I'm part of the problem at that point.
All right. Well, let's start off. I see the bracket is a little bit different today. It's kind of divided into two halves.
I
mean, it's still the same fucking process.
It looks kind of like the anime one did. Long ago. Dave's first.
Yeah.
That's fine by me. The very first matchup, they're kind of similar things. We've got binge watching Jackson Galaxy, the My Cat from Hell guy, against watching bad reality TV. So you've got the specifics of Jackson Galaxy against general bad reality TV. What is bad reality TV, Andy?
Oh, I was going to let Jackson whatever go first, but
Okay.
I'll talk bad reality TV. We're opening up my world now to the world to everyone else. So Kelly and I love watching bad reality TV. And this started during the pandemic. Actually, the only bad reality TV I watched before this was stuff like Ink Master. But now it's transcended its own. Like we watched Love is Blind, although I didn't like that one. So that could have been the end of it. But then we watched The Circle per Andy's recommendation.
That wasn't that bad.
Come on.
It was not that bad.
It's stupid.
Well, yeah, but
It's
pretty
bad.
much all reality.
It's
Mhm.
bad. And
No.
then we also watched Too Hot to Handle. Another really stupid.
It was so stupid.
Now we have watched 90 Day Fiance to its entirety. We've watched before the 90 Days, 90 Day Fiance to its entirety. We have started Happily Ever After 90 Day Fiance and self-quarantined 90 Day Fiance.
Oh God.
This is self-quarantine one?
Yes, it is ridiculously stupid. We love it. Something about watching people who suck is fun.
Now, what's your qualifier for bad reality TV? Because would you consider Bar Rescue?
I was about to ask.
Umbrella?
I don't know if I even consider Ink Master bad. Those are more like, I don't know. I'm looking at like the relationship kind of stuff.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm
Makes
one
sense.
step away from being like part of Bachelor Nation at this point. Like it's getting bad, and this started 6 months ago at this point, and it's devolved to this. And Kelly's part of the problem too. She's really into it. Thursday, I got out of it because I wanted to watch the Bears game. So this kind of dates when we're doing this. The Bears played Thursday in a fantastic come from behind. So that there are things that I'll watch over bad reality TV. But last night, Kelly came home from work. She showered, and then we just watched like 2.5 hours of 90 Day Fiance before she went to bed. Like that was our idea of a fun night, and it was amazing.
That is amazing.
Silence.
Julian, why don't you talk about Jackson Galaxy a little bit?
Oh, I love watching his videos.
I've
So I have
never
a
seen the
cat.
show.
Oh, it's basically just about Andy. You would even watch this.
Probably.
It's just about these people who have cats who behave poorly or badly. They'll scratch, they'll shit everywhere, they'll pretty much do everything that the owner hates. And then Jackson Galaxy, who's this really weird dude. He's really tall, he's bald, he plays in a band, and he has the weirdest beard. I don't know, like it cuts off at the mustache, and then he has a goatee that cuts off like on the chin, and he has a big sleeve tattoo, and he's really fat, and he just comes in your home and then basically tells you that you're living horribly and that you're a piece of shit for not being better to your cat. Yeah, that's him. That's
Okay.
I pulled up a picture too. What a lunatic.
He's a weird dude.
But
But I love it because I like cats. So he teaches you a lot about cats' behaviors. And I've even picked up some of the advice that he gives to the owners, and it actually works. I just love watching it because of cats, really.
Sounds like you're getting something beneficial out of it. Whereas 90 Day Fiance, I'm getting nothing beneficial. What I'm getting is I'm watching people's relationships fall apart, and I'm laughing.
I would have to agree with you on that. Watching 90 Day Fiance is probably far worse than watching cat behavioralist videos.
I'm in shock over his beard.
It's
I'm
weird, right?
I'm in shock over
Yeah, I mean,
everything
hey,
about him.
good for him, but it's ooh.
Honestly, I hope he doesn't like get mad at us for making fun of his beard. I love you, Jackson Galaxy.
Hey, if
You're
he
a great
likes it,
man.
go ahead.
I mean,
I hope he watches this and reaches out and he's like, "Fuck you for guys making fun of my beard."
so the show is My Cat from Hell,
My cat from hell.
and you said it's about cats that just like scratch and bite and piss all over everything.
Well, yeah, they're just bad cats.
So it's not any different than the relationships going on in 90 Day Fiance. Okay, because they scratch, bite, and piss all over each other.
Cats are more civilized, though.
That's true.
Fun fact, we just finished the first season of the Happily Ever After, so we just started that one. And one of the people said, like, she all she does is cry for sex and want to piss all over me. That's why I said that.
Jesus.
I'm just like, what am I watching?
I would rather watch Jackson Galaxy than that.
Oh, you say that now. It hooked me in. Jerrick, you watch it too, don't you? 90 Day?
I've seen bits and pieces. Most of the most recent season. It's awful, man. It's so bad. I just learned that Jackson Galaxy is not Jackson Galaxy's first name or real name.
Oh,
hold on.
It's not his
we
real
gotta
name.
pull up a picture of him.
His name is Richard Kirshner.
There we go.
He looks like a Richard Kirshner.
He could pull off Richard.
He could definitely pull off a Richard.
He's such a Richard.
Are we ready to vote?
Well, Dave and Tom, have you seen either of these?
No, I mean, you've talked my ear off about all of your garbage shows.
I do that.
So
Yeah, I'm ready. I mean, I haven't seen Jackson Galaxy, but I've watched plenty of 90 Day Fiancé. So,
where are we voting here?
Bad
I'm gonna go with Bad TV.
I gotta go with Bad TV.
I agree.
Same.
I'll give it the clean sweep. It's so dumb. And I harped on 90 Day because that's the one we're watching now. But, I mean, Julian's seen Too Hot to Handle. That's probably worse. It's so stupid.
I don't know. Too Hot to Handle feels a little bit more scripted to me.
They all
but 90 Day
feel scripted.
Fiancé is just like, well, this is just flat out stupid.
It's
Flat out stupid.
Some of them are like, I've never met this person, but I got engaged online and I'm bringing them to America.
But that's
baby.
the thing. That's feasible. That actually happens. That's a
Oh,
real
yeah.
thing.
I know, and that's what makes it wonderful. And
But
then
an
they're like,
island where people can't fuck,
the unfuckable
I
eye.
was like, okay.
Oh, I
this is
love that
obviously
show.
scripted.
It's so
Too
stupid.
hot to handle. It's so damn stupid.
Yeah, but they were too hot to handle, man. Like, they're just hot people. You couldn't handle them. It was great.
I had a spiritual
Except for the
connection
one
with
dude that
Kels.
looked like Jesus. White Jesus left early because no one wanted to fuck him.
No one wanted to handle them.
No
I-
one
I-
could
I'm telling you though,
handle-
Kels was the man. He I had a lot of respect for him. He was
Who's
the one.
Kells?
He was the one who basically, like, anytime anyone would like do anything and they'd lose money, he'd be like, "You're costing me money, motherfuckers."
Oh yeah.
I have like
yeah.
a deep connection with Kels. I would have punched that ugly ass British guy. Also, what
Harry?
what the hell was
Was
he
that
doing
Harry?
on there? I thought they were supposed to be hot. He was like gross.
So who was the hottest man on there, Andy? Who was the hunk that you just couldn't?
I don't
Who
know.
was the
I
hunk
mean,
that was too hot to handle for
I'm
you?
just saying, like, I could look at them and be like, all right, these are all attractive guys. And then I look at the fucking weirdo in the corner over there who's like costing them all money. I'm like, he's not even attractive. What's up
They
with this
all
clown?
cost each other money.
Kels
Honestly,
didn't cost any money.
Oh,
Kels was the
no.
MVP, my man.
In lieu of this becoming a three-person podcast, let's move on to something else.
Sorry, that
No, the
devolved.
three. I know we could talk about Too Hot to Handle for hours. Maybe we do our own podcast about it. But let's move
I
on
have
to.
to rewatch it.
Oh God, I wouldn't want to do that again. Waste 6 hours of my life. All right, matchup number 2. We've got sorting my underwear by comfort level against Dota 2.
Who wants to start on this one?
I'll go first. So I always say, you can never have too much comfortable underwear, and then just some days, you're gonna be outside for a while and you're gonna be walking around. So I like to sort my underwear by comfort level based on what I'm doing that day. If I know I'm just kind of sitting around the house and stuff like that, I'll probably want to wear my less comfortable underwear because I'm not really moving around a lot, not doing a whole lot. But if I'm going to be moving around a lot or going out doing chores or running errands, I want to wear the most comfortable underwear I have possible to have the best day. That's practical, right? We can all agree
Yeah, that makes
that's
sense to me.
practical.
I like
yeah.
that method actually.
Yeah, why
How
is that
long
weird?
does this take? Does this take you like a minute or two, or 20?
No.
Or
No. This can. I think the most it was like an hour and 45 minutes, but that was because I was doing laundry at the same time. But like if I have all of my underwear, everything is clean, it'll probably take me about like 20-30 minutes tops.
I don't
Okay.
think that's too
So
weird.
I think that's a significant time investment.
that
but,
is
I
a
mean,
lot
yeah.
of time.
Well, hey,
But if
For
it's
comfy
worth it
undies-
at the end,
For
it's
comfy
really worth it.
undies,
You should try it. You really should try it.
I know in my head what underwear I have is more comfortable. And I guess, yeah, now that I think about it, I do kind of do the same thing. If you're going to the gym, you don't want to wear anything too tight or,
Yeah,
Hugging
you
the
don't
balls.
it
want
matters.
any
Yeah.
no nut huggers. Like a good, nice, soft pair of briefs while you do your lifts and squats.
All
Good
right.
man.
I'm waiting for Dave's Dota 2.
Let's go, Dave.
Yeah. So just for reference, Dota 2 is a video game, free to play. It
You
is
guys
very
took me to a movie.
It's a very it's a very complex video game. Me, Evan, and Julian once went to Marcus Theaters to watch the International, I think 3 or 4. Julian had no idea what the fuck was going on.
I was so confused. I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah, not only is the game itself complex to play, but it can be complex to like watch being played, especially if you have zero context for what the game is. Just for some context, it's a 5 versus 5 team game where everyone has like a role, like hard carry, which means like, hey, that's the person that's supposed to carry you through the game, like support characters, stuff like that. And you have to like push forward to the enemy base to destroy it, and then they try to push towards your base to destroy it.
But how is this my question is, how is this like a bad hobby?
Yeah,
Because
both
it's
are
like people
so-
make millions of dollars off of this.
Yeah. So this comes into partially, you'll see a theme in some of these entries where it's questionable financial decisions that might be associated with Dota. I had been playing this since 2015, but took a huge, long, big break of playing this up until May, the end of May this year, when they released their Battle Pass, which is like their big money.
Sounds
suck.
violent.
Yeah, it's,
Battle Pass.
it's a big, easy way for them to make a shitload of money real quick. And I fell sucker for it this year for some dumb reasons. So
Damn.
since May,
Couldn't
I have
pass that battle.
spent $342.82 on this free-to-play game since May. So
You
that's
spent
part
how
of
much
why
on a
this
free
works.
game?
$342.82 since I came back. I had spent money previously, but I don't have an easy way to figure
On
that
a
out.
free-to-play game?
Uh-huh. Now, to weather that a little bit, I do have 503 hours in this game. And that's like chump change because our friend Evan has almost 3,000 hours spent on this game.
God.
Wow.
And it's also
shit.
one of those games, I don't actually get too mad at playing the game. Some people get real pissed off playing the game because you play for like 40 minutes in a match, and then you'll end up losing because of some reason. So people can get really mad at this. But it's not always a pleasant thing to be playing. And it's not always something that while you're playing, you're actually really enjoying yourself because you might be in a crummy match for 40 minutes. And I spent $842.82 on that.
That's less
I'm
than
picking
$1 an
Dota
hour,
too.
though.
Seriously,
Yeah.
I'm picking Dota 2.
I'm not gonna judge your financial decisions because
It's,
for one, I thought it was gonna be more, and two,
Yeah, I did too.
I am the problem when it comes to poor financial decisions, and we're gonna
it's
learn
any-
that later.
If it's any consolation, not even if it makes it worse, I was tempted to spend $300 more to get a stupid little statue that I want, but I don't want to spend $300.
You
on
did
a
that.
statue.
If you did that, I'd have more questions. What?
I am
okay.
going to get a little plaque thing though that's got a little disc. Evan showed you his last year.
Yeah, but
I'm
that's
gonna
a
get
physical
that,
thing.
but-
Again,
Yeah.
we're gonna learn very quickly. Physical things and spending poor money is like a hobby of mine.
Well, the little statue would have been a physical thing too.
Yeah.
but-
Oh, I thought it was an in-game thing. Like I
no,
bought
it
a
would've been a-
digital statue.
No, I mean I'm just buying like character skins and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talking about Dota 2 and video game stuff made Tom go away.
Tom was so disgusted by you, Dave. He
No,
just
it's
got
probably-
up and left.
He's probably going to get
I-
the statue that you wanted, Dave.
Also,
Reach
the 503 hours were from when I started in 2015. Again, I had a huge big break, so it's not like I had 503 hours and then I just spent $342 in that 503 hours just recently. So, but
I mean,
That
I'm,
is a lot.
questionable financial decisions.
I'm ready to vote, and it's kind of
I'm
obvious
ready
even
to vote.
before we got into the finances, that the underwear thing is just something we all do. I like no nut hugging underwear. I don't think your financial decisions are really as poor as you're making them out to be.
That money could be better spent pretty much anywhere else.
It
we're
definitely
gonna
could.
we're gonna get into some stupid spending.
Yeah,
I haven't talked about my shoe collection with anyone here.
I have
except
two
for
other
maybe
instances
Julian.
of
You are a
spending.
sneakerhead. That is so true. You
Yeah,
are a sneakerhead.
I haven't talked about that with anyone but you, Julian. So
Yeah.
I've got a few pairs here to show.
Yeah, I'm
Uh-huh.
good to vote.
Michael Jordan's got you fucked.
Yeah, probably. Oh God, this thing is acting up like a motherfucker today. Damn you, challenge.
Sorry for stepping away. I was going to get some water.
Oh, we thought you were just
Oh.
disgusted and
We
Dave.
thought you were angry at Dota too.
I heard you guys, but I just went to go get some water.
No. You gotta be like, yeah, Dave, you fucking suck. Oh, come on. What is going on here today?
Yeah, feel free not to invite me to any more of those movie showings.
Oh, I don't know if they. I think that was the only time they might have done it.
Okay, good, because
like,
like
only
I left
There's
halfway
only like
through
8
it.
of us. There was like only 8 of us in that theater.
No, there were more. I think there were a few more. It's just I just remember leaving halfway through it, like, I gotta go.
I think you guys invited me because I played Dota 2 for like several hours only. And
I
Yeah,
actually
that's
remember
nothing.
you saying no, I can't go.
I could have gone. I just didn't want to go.
My vote's for Dota 2.
I'm going for Dota too.
And
Well, I was going to go with sorting my underwear by comfort level.
Don't knock it until you've tried it.
I do
Don't.
try it. I just don't. How is it a hobby?
Fun.
Cause it's just fun. Like I don't know. I like laundry.
You do it
laundry.
once, it's done.
I like doing laundry because maybe you can go into like, oh, I can do color coordinations today or something like that.
That's not comfort level.
I will say
It could be
though,
comfort level by color coordination. There's
I like
many ways to manage your underwear. I can show you.
No, I'm good. Thank you. All right. Well, regardless, my vote doesn't matter. Dota 2 moves on.
Pause for a second. Pause. I take that back.
all right, before Julian says something else he regrets,
This
let's
is
move
weird.
All right. Matchup number 3. We've got spending days installing Skyrim only to play it for a couple hours before
Yeah.
on.
ignoring it,
Skyrim mods, yeah.
against learning about lost media. Dave, you had the Skyrim one, right?
Yeah, this one should be quick to explain. I sometimes when I want to play Skyrim, I spend many days and hours just installing mods to make the game good. It's fine as it is, but once you experience mods, you gotta go hard on them. And I lost many weekends just like installing mods the whole fucking day. And then I go to play it, and a common theme is I play it for a little bit, and then I realize, oh shit, I forgot this, or I forgot this other small thing, or like, oh, actually, maybe I want something that makes this better. And I go and install those, and then I gotta fix all the compatibility issues. And then it just continues on and on and on.
I just like looking at Julian down there struggling through this.
It's so funny to me.
Yeah.
I don't know why Dave's hobbies are just funny to me.
So yeah, I might end up playing like 8 hours if I'm lucky after spending 2 almost actual hour days installing mods.
Holy shit.
I feel bad, man.
Yeah.
I do
So I don't
too,
play
though.
Skyrim anymore. I just don't do it. I just don't do it anymore.
I love Skyrim. I play Skyrim all the time.
But do you install mods, Julian?
I installed like 2 or 3 mods, and that was it. That's all I
I
needed.
go crazy. I go overboard.
I mean,
Why isn't this texture working?
Yeah, exactly. Or like, why isn't this item spawning? It's supposed to be on this bandit at this level and this. And it's.
You're pretty much just game deving at this point.
Yeah, I just want the game to be as good as it can be, but then once I play it, I'm like, man, I don't know if I have the energy to do this anymore.
I don't think my topic stands a chance against this.
Well, let's hear it.
All right, so before I start, what lost media is it's some form of media, whether it's music, games, movies, TV shows, whatever, that through the passage of time hasn't been archived properly. So it existing isn't like it's not actually known to like people have this collective memory of it, but that's all there is that exists. So there's no way of saying like what's being told is real or what it is. It even actually existed the way it's being described. I don't know. I just find that fascinating that in today's age, there's content out there that you can no longer view or see. There's games that existed as download only that have been lost. I know the Scott Pilgrim game was that for, I mean, not quite to the level of some other games, but you couldn't re-download it.
Like PT, but
PT.
there's ways to trick to
But
download.
beyond that, there's games that were part of this downloadable service on Nintendo and Sega way back in the day. You can't play that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There's episodes of
Zelda.
Yeah, there was like a Zelda with orchestral music or
Mhm.
narration that you can never play.
And there's another one where he plays like different characters than Link and stuff like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's a Garfield game that had extra levels added to it that you can never play the extra Garfield levels again.
Damn.
Son of a bitch.
But like even beyond that, there's
Biggest disappointment.
just some weird stuff out there that exists that
Yeah. To give you another example, O.J. Simpson had a prank show in the 2000s, and you can only you can only get it now through Netflix DVD to your house.
but that's not
You
fully
cannot
lost.
find it anywhere else. You cannot find it anywhere else.
Why would O.J. Simpson
The last
think that's
bastion
okay?
for O.J. Simpson prank show.
But that's not lost then, because
It's pretty lost.
I could get
People-
that CD and burn it.
But
Easy.
you can also play the Zelda with the orchestral music because people back those up.
Yeah,
Mm.
well,
those-
I don't. When I
You
say
can play that right now if you want to.
there's stuff out there though that you can't. Like I'm
Sure,
talking.
I'm just saying the examples you've given. Some of them are the same.
I know the Garfield levels are completely
He's
lost.
still laughing so hard.
There's also
I can't stop thinking about O.J. Simpson pranking people. Like,
Yeah.
it's such a funny video.
It was called Juiced.
but
He just got
Jesus
juiced.
Christ.
He has a rap song to go with it.
Oh my god.
I wish I had some stuff pulled up. I could pull up more stuff now that I have a desktop in the background.
I'm more than positive that people freaked out more the fact that OJ was standing in front of them other
Yes.
than they got pranked.
Yes.
Is he holding a
They
knife?
saw him and were like, "Am I going to get killed right now?"
Exactly. Am I gonna get juiced?
But there's one in particular that had like Amazon listings for it that never released. It's called A Day with SpongeBob, and it was made by like a third party. And that third party, like during doing research, people found that was like a drug laundering company, and it was like its office was found in a mall, but that it doesn't exist. And when they'd call it, they'd get like vague threatening messages, like never ask about that again. Meanwhile, it's just
Turns
like this
out
fucking SpongeBob
it was just
thing.
OJ.
But like, I don't know, weird shit like that fascinates me. I've gone probably more hours listening to Lost Media archive kind of shit than Davis played Dota.
I'm willing to bet that 45% of all lost media is because of OJ now. I just really want to see that OJ show now.
I mean, again, I don't think this is that weird of a hobby. It's probably the
I don't think
weirdest
it's
I
weird.
added, especially after comparing it to Dave's Skyrim.
That is
modding.
weird.
Yeah.
Dave, why did you
It's just adding
make a game?
mods and not playing.
Why not just
Yeah.
make a fucking game at that point?
I mean, by the time I'm done with Skyrim, it still feels like Skyrim. But
Just play the game.
this is
Enjoy
also,
the
I will
game.
say, I've seen plenty of people say the same thing with modding Skyrim, where they spend a lot of time modding it to perfection and then barely playing it. So it's not even just a me thing, but I am definitely in that camp.
I'll say this. I bet you there's more people that look up Lost Media, though, that spend hours modding Skyrim and don't play the fucking game.
You'd be surprised. But yeah.
All right,
You're
let's
probably
put
right.
this bad boy to a vote.
I'm going Skyrim. That's just
Oh my-
funny.
I'm having problems again. I hate this.
God damn it, OJ.
Yeah, I blame OJ for this.
Mm-hmm.
We're having technical difficulties at Break It Up. All right,
Thanks,
so
OJ.
Skyrim.
Skyrim. Yep.
Yep.
I'm just assuming Julian's a yep by all the laughing.
Yep. That was
All
so
right,
funny.
clean sweep. Next up, these are both mine. It's a fantasy wrestling league against going to zoos and aquariums while on vacation, then taking all of the best habitats and then forming them into one giant mega zoo in your mind, and thinking how cool it would be if everyone could visit said mega zoo.
I need examples for the second one. When we get to it.
Sure.
I do too.
Okay, fantasy wrestling league kind of rolls the same as any other fantasy sports league, football, basketball, baseball. You pick your wrestlers in a draft with a bunch of friends or whatever, create a team name, and you get points based on what the wrestler does over the course of the show that week. So like in football, you get points for touchdowns and passing yards and whatnot. Wrestling, you might get points if someone does their finishing move or breaks an announcer table or calls someone a bitch in a promo.
See,
That sounds like the best wrestling, like the fantasy league you could be a part
That does
of.
sound fun. That
It
sounds
is
like a lot of
actually.
fun, actually.
It's kind of fun, but sort of dorky. Yeah.
Dave, don't say it says fantasy leagues. I'm in fantasy leagues for almost every sport.
This one's probably the best one. You can agree, though, right?
No,
You don't have these kind of conditions in hockey. They
No,
break
but
a table. Yes, cool points.
They call somebody a bitch.
Yeah.
Look, I'll join any fantasy league Andy has with wrestling. I'm all for this, but I like quantifying it better with hockey.
Yeah, there's only so many things you can make up to get points for in wrestling, but I haven't played a fantasy wrestling league in a while, but I used to for a few years in like 2016 or so when I had more friends who liked it.
Well,
And
it sounds like you have a group here that'll play.
Well, sure. I can set one up, I guess.
I don't know the first thing
Yeah.
about wrestling.
Nor do I.
I know
that's-
stuff about
that's why I'm
wrestling,
gonna-
but
I'm
not
gonna
enough
kick
to
your
be in a
ass.
league.
Look,
Well, The Rock.
There you go.
John Cena,
That's all
because
I
you
know.
can't see me.
That's
No
good.
one wants to see John Cena.
All right, so then I'll talk a little bit about the second point of creating a mega
Yes.
zoo. Okay, I've probably been to not that many, but maybe like 12 to 15 zoos /
It's a
aquariums
lot of zoos.
across the nation. Yeah, probably more than your average person. But when you start to see the different habitats of animals in different zoos, you kind of determine which one might be the most beneficial for said animal. So an easy one is otters. Everybody loves sea otters. They're at literally like every zoo or aquarium possible. And I've been to like 8 or 9 of them and seen a bunch of different habitats. And the one in the Milwaukee Zoo is the best that I've ever seen. It is fantastic. So in my mind, I create the Zoo Tycoon shit, and in like the top left corner, here's the otter habitat specifically from the Milwaukee Zoo. And then otherwise, let's like different animal, flamingos. Flamingos are also very popular at zoos and aquariums. Well, maybe not an aquarium, but a zoo for sure. The best flamingo habitat I've ever seen is at the Dallas Zoo. It's massive. It's like a 10-acre habitat. It is gigantic. You can see flamingos from every angle of the zoo practically. It's awesome, and that's really cool. So maybe right in the middle of my mega zoo, flamingo habitat. It's fantastic.
You
spent too
have
much
to
time-
play like Zoo Tycoon or Zoo
Yeah.
Planet.
Yeah, I was
Like-
gonna say this sounds like a game you need to play.
Yeah.
This sounds
I
like
never
we
have.
need
I should.
our future fans to do a GoFundMe page just so we can
Yeah.
get his dream
Yeah.
zoo. I would visit the fuck out of that zoo.
When-
Check out Zoo Planet. It's like a modern day Zoo Tycoon.
Okay.
Yeah,
But I
here's
want
a-
to see real animals, though. I don't want to play a game.
Well, look, it's going to be a game, and here's my ploy to get people to watch more. If you watch more and we make money, and Andy can start a game company and run people to make a better
No.
Zoo Tycoon.
No, I agree. He needs to make an actual zoo, but I'm saying,
I think he
I'm not-
should make an actual zoo.
yeah.
We're never going to make. He's never going to have enough money to
If
make
Kevin
a full
James
zoo.
can
Don't
do it.
kill
If
his
Kevin James can do
dreams,
it, I can
Andy
do it.
Jesus.
Kevin James. is a
I'm all
zookeeper.
for Jerrick. I am all for your zoo. I will.
Thank you.
Jarek, if
I'm all for
if
it.
I ever have millions and billions of dollars, I will fund you to make a zoo. But let's be more realistic.
We can
Hey,
get
I'm-
like a big
Julian.
statue of Andy in the middle of his zoo. And then this is the man with the plan.
Andy
Right.
holding an otter with a flamingo standing next.
This is the MySec
That'd be-
naked mole rat
What's-
exhibit.
What's your favorite animal, and how elaborate would the section for that animal be?
I guess I wouldn't want anything to be particularly elaborate. I would just want
Okay.
it to be as immersive as possible for the animal. I mean,
Okay.
obviously it depends on the
That's
animal's brain waves and what it needs to keep itself like entertained. Obviously, you need play stuff
Mm-hmm.
and interaction with trainers and stuff like that. I don't know. I've got about a bajillion favorite animals. I use otters because they're definitely one of them. Everybody loves a good sea otter fight.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hear me out in my way of voting, since
Yeah,
I
go
think
ahead.
we have an idea. I think Andy with the zoo is actually like a wholesome thing. Like he cares about the animals. When he's coming up with exhibits, he's probably thinking of the best way for animals to exist in a zoo happily. And I think that's wholesome and sweet. And I think that's a nice hobby. Whereas the fantasy wrestling, it's just like every other fantasy league. It's goofy and dumb and, waste of time at the end of the day. And that's coming
But
from
it still
someone.
sounds fun.
It
fun.
sounds like the best fantasy league.
It
I
sounds
would
like a lot of
wrestle
fun.
it
But the
again.
thing is, we're picking the weirdest hobby. I think the zoo thing is like wholesome and
Yeah,
kind of
listen,
cool.
I think both of these are great, actually. But
Yeah, honestly, I
of the
do.
two, I guess the fantasy league's the less great one.
That's
Yeah,
how I
'cause
look
really
at it
want
too.
you to have your
Yeah.
zoo now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I
be thinking about it. I'm gonna send you emails like, so maybe for this part of the zoo, I think
like-
that would be great.
I think the zoo is like wholesome and cool, and I like it.
I would visit the shit out of it.
I really would. What city would your zoo be in?
Well, it'd probably have to be in a city that doesn't already have a zoo or nearby. So how about Bourbonnais?
I was gonna say Burbank.
Yeah, there you go. I don't
in the
know.
middle of like shithole Burbank.
Just get your own island, a la Jurassic Park, and
Oh
have.
god, that's a whole nother
Yeah.
egg that can get cracked open.
All right, we got some more voting
Nice.
for
I'll
Julian,
vote for
Tom, and Andy.
Fantasy Wrestling League.
I will
It
do
just-
Fantasy Wrestling League.
Tom,
Yeah.
Yep, same.
It can take a whole lot of time out of your day. If you know about it and you want to make sure that like certain wrestlers, you always play your wrestlers who are more likely to win. It's just like regular fantasy sports.
Yeah,
it can be a total time suck.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure outside of Andy, I'm the only other person here who's like played consistently fantasy sports and even for money, and that shit takes time and
Also-
research.
Wrestling itself, if you watch everything, it can take a huge amount of time, right? Because there's
God,
like
yes.
many like 3-hour long shows, right, throughout the
Yeah,
week.
and there's no sane
No
person
ending.
watches all
Yeah.
that shit. You've
Yeah.
got to be crazy to do that. All right, done with that. We can move on to another round, and guess what? One of mine again. It's getting 8 items from the library only to read/watch one of the items, and then having to make an embarrassing trip back 3 weeks later. And this goes up against one of Julian's, which is really good. Acting out random scenes in your head of beating the shit out of politicians you don't like.
Yeah.
One of these though
God.
I do, and the other one is making the embarrassing trip to the library.
I can't say I've been to the library in many years.
Go on, Andy.
I'm
Explain the
finding
library.
that-
Okay, I am a huge proponent of libraries. They are fantastic and a wonderful public service. Every time I go there, I somehow go out of control and grab a bunch of shit that I can't possibly ingest in 3 weeks. The last time I went, I got like a full-length novel, a 400-page novel, a movie, the new season of Watchmen, and then the first 5 volumes of The Promised Neverland.
Oh,
In 3 weeks, I've
I'll let you
read the
borrow
book and
those.
watched one movie. I have 6 things that I haven't touched in over 3 weeks. And I have to take
That
it back
makes sense because I feel like more
But
than
do you do this on
you're
the
not the only
regular?
one who does that.
What was that, Tom?
Do you do that on the regular? Because that would make it a hobby. But if that's an every once in a while thing, I don't consider that a
I
hobby.
do do it every 3 weeks. I can't
okay.
stop myself.
Also, I mean, off topic, if you want to read the first 5 novels of Promised Neverland, I have the first 5 novels of Promised Neverland you can borrow.
Okay, well, I didn't know that. I just got them because I'm like, oh, this could be cool to read sometime. And then I'm like, no, I have like 7 other books I need to read first.
Yeah,
Have you
it's
checked
really
out Watchmen yet?
Nope.
good.
Watchmen's
I-
good.
I-
That's the
I know, I've
HBO
heard
Watchmen,
that.
right?
Yes, I've heard great
good.
things about it.
Check out
I'll get
Lovecraft
to it.
Country as well.
I'm finishing up The Outsider right now. So,
All right, Julian, explain
yes.
explain yours. That is, I am almost certain is going to lose this matchup.
Well, if some of you know, I do go boxing regularly, and I don't know. Do we have shadow boxing on the list? Or
Oh,
no?
shadow boxing's
Yeah.
on the list. Two of
Oh,
you do
okay.
it.
Well, yeah, it started off with me just kind of shadow boxing, and then in my head, if Trump or Mike Pence or a politician that I really don't like has done something terrible, I'm just like, "Bah, bah, bah, fuck you, Donald Trump," and I give him a right cross across the face, and I just go out in these scenes. Man, I gotta tell you, I beat their asses. It's great in my head.
Let me
Does
tell.
anyone ever land a punch on you?
Sometimes they do. Sometimes I get
Ooh,
dramatic.
competitive.
Sometimes
Okay.
they come in hard.
A 74-year-old Donald Trump coming in hard against
Oh yeah, he is
fucking
some really hard,
Julian.
really heavy body shots. He's really stocky. His head does this weird thing where it's like he doesn't have a neck, so it's kind of hard to get a good shot on him. So
Just push his ass down since he leaned so far forward.
that's very true. It's weird. It's weird the way he stands.
Real easy to trip him.
Yeah, but who here hasn't imagined bad things happening to a politician they don't like?
No. Well, there's
Including
bad things,
beating
but you
them.
doing the bad things.
Oh yeah, I've been there, done that.
You probably I guarantee you the majority of us have done that at some point within the past
Mhm.
2 years.
Past 4, I'd say.
You can maybe even extend. Yeah, there's been bad politicians for a long time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, it's gotten a mighty divisive these days.
Hmm. Yeah, it sure has. It sure has. But that's about it, man.
Well,
I'm probably
I mean,
gonna do it tonight at some point.
I'm gonna have to refresh every fucking time, aren't I?
So
well,
weird.
I mean, yeah, this is usually great. This library thing baffles me to no end.
But I understand it though. I understand it. Why you keep going back and doing it, I don't understand. But at the same time,
Yeah, if this happened once or twice, but we're talking every 3
Yeah.
weeks.
every 3 weeks,
I gotta go with the library one for sure.
I gotta go with the library
Mhm.
one, man.
Andy?
Oh, well, yeah, of course.
Time to go to the library.
Time to consume none of this media, baby.
I get through 1 or 2 things in the 3-week period.
But the
Why
problem
don't
is
you just pick
Neverland.
1 or 2 things?
The problem is Neverland. The 5 volumes probably would have taken you maybe 5 hours to read.
Oh, I know.
all
They're
those.
quick. They're small.
They're comic books.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, mangas.
Graphic novel. All right, moving on. We've got randomly doing calf raises, which is one of my favorites. I love that. Against buying Japanese versions of video games that you
Video
already
games?
have in English.
Yup.
I already know what I'm voting
so
for.
bad.
It's so stupid.
I guess I'll bring it up when we get when we start on it. But
We talk. You want to do your
Which
calf
one are we
raises,
talking
Julian?
first?
I have the video game sitting right here that I bought. So I'll let you do your calf.
I don't
raises.
I just randomly do calf raises because I
I-
want strong legs. That's
To
it.
be,
That's
to be
all
fair, I
do
do
it
that
for.
too. Sometimes I'll go up like 2 stairs, and before I go up anymore, I'll do a few calf raises for no reason.
Exactly.
I'm a champ at the calf raise machines, like the where you put the weights on. I'm a champ at those.
Calf raises are great. Having strong legs
Calf
is
raises
great.
are great. Having
I-
strong legs is great. I
Especially
don't know
if
how
you're a
great it is
husky
buying
like me.
Japanese versions of games you
Yeah.
already have.
Do you
That's just
have the
silly.
consoles or the adapters to actually play them? Because depending on what console it is,
No,
you can't actually play them.
no, Dave,
Why?
I don't. Dave, I don't.
I think on N64 you have to clip some plastic so you can put it in.
No, well, here's the thing. To buy a Japanese N64 and a Famicom, Super Famicom, which are the 2 I have Japanese games for, combined to buy the 2 consoles would probably be like $110 max. Like, it's super cheap. I could easily do it, but I haven't yet. I have 7 Japanese games, 3 in box. I don't know why. I have them all in English. Like, here's Super Mario World, Super Mario All-Stars. I have Super Mario 64, and then I have in box.
That looks like golf.
It did
Oh.
look like golf.
Oh, it's tennis. I have Super Mario 64 downstairs actually, so I have 8 now. My bad, I forgot. I've Donkey Kong Country 2 in box. I don't know why. Also, I bought all these within the last year, and then I have Mario Party 2 and Mario Kart 64. The differences with all of these games is nothing at all. They're the exact same fucking game that I already own.
Some of them can be different.
None of these. The one I have that's different is Mario Stadium, Pokemon Stadium. But this is the Japanese Pokemon Stadium one, which is basically Pokemon Stadium 1 in English, but less content. So it's less than what I already own.
They're better for speed racing if you ever decide to.
Yeah, dude, I don't do that. I haven't played
Yeah.
these because I
The
can't.
text being quicker is a big plus.
And
yeah,
if,
but
if you had the systems, I don't think I would have voted for this one. Since you don't have the systems.
Or
I'm
the
voting for this
adapters, or yeah.
Oh god.
the worst part of not having the systems is they're affordable. They're like $50 a piece.
Yeah.
You could go on eBay. I don't have to clip anything. I don't have to do any work. I have to spend $100 total on eBay, and I could play these games if I wanted. But I don't. I don't have the two consoles.
I'm sorry, dude. You're gonna lose this one.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
No, you're
I'm
going to
okay.
win this one, actually.
Yeah, I'm-
You're gonna win it, yeah.
I'm the winner. Cat phrases have a benefit, and everyone does them.
Not everyone, but yeah.
Not
Yeah, everyone should. They're
Yeah.
good for you. I'm voting for my own. It's stupid.
Yeah.
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 I'm
Japanese
voting.
video game.
Hey, it's cool display pieces. Well, the ones in box are cool display pieces, at least. I think
Yeah,
they're cool.
I mean they look nice. They're nifty.
That's
Just
what
wish
they're
you could
used
play
for.
them.
Yeah, that's what I use them for, though, is sitting there.
Oh well. Matchup number 7, Funko Pop collecting. Andy, this is yours against mine, which is aggressively bidding with the contestants on Price is Right.
I love that.
I love that.
So here. There's a bunch back there. Here, I'll give you a closer view. They look stupid. Dave hates them.
Why? I
They
think they're
all
adorable.
look the fucking same. They all have the same
hear me?
soulless black eyes that are just so boring and strip a lot of character from these characters. Also, they're just shittier Nendroids.
All right,
What
I
is
have
a
to-
Nendroid?
Stole the chibi ass the style and marketed towards a Western audience. They're awful looking. They're fucking
Yeah.
trash plastic.
I like
I
them.
love them.
I love them. There's my whole My Hero
They
Academia.
all look
set.
the fucking same.
There's my Rick and Morty set.
No, they don't. You can
Those
tell that they
fucking
don't.
soulless eyes.
Here's my NHL set with everyone's favorite, Gritty. Look at that. You wouldn't want this in your home?
That's nightmare fuel right
Boy,
there.
what loving,
I like
loving
that.
eyes.
I like that.
Love
Okay,
it.
so that's that. So your little collectible
Ninja
toys
Turtles.
have to have eyes. I love the
no,
Ninja
I
Turtles
just it's
one.
Yeah,
it
look at- this
strips
is for you,
personality
Julian.
from the characters.
Look at that.
I love that. I love all
Oh.
of that.
Look, there's Nickelodeon too. I know you'll like that, Julian.
I do like it. I'm
Look
so
how bad
happy.
SpongeBob looks with those eyes.
That
Cat
one's
dog
my
is terrifying.
favorite.
Cat Dog is terrifying.
I love them. I have, and here's the other good thing about them is they appreciate in value. So I had a ton more at one point, maybe like another 400. I sold
Jesus
all.
Christ.
I sold all of them for like thousands of dollars, way more than I paid. We're talking insane.
I'm gonna
amount of
start
money.
collecting Funko Pops now just because of that.
Yeah, I mean, you have to know what you're doing when you're buying them. So I bought some with the sole intention to sell them. I bought Fred Flintstone for like $8 and I sold it for $250 about.
Was he a variant or
Nope.
exclusive to a store?
Nope.
How the fuck is? Oh god. Okay.
You got to get on that pop price guide. Some of them I have in here are worth triple digits. I just don't want to sell them.
I
Sure,
am
like Gritty.
definitely gonna start collecting Funko Pops.
It's a fun hobby. I think this is my least obnoxious hobby.
Okay.
Don't hate, Dave.
I
Shut
hate
up.
them. I'm not going to hate Andy for them, but I hate Funko Pops.
He's
And anyone
he's
who
gonna
likes
vote
Funko Pops, that's cool, fine. But Funko Pops suck.
Okay. Oh, Dave. I think my
Sounds
dog's
like such
gotta
a
be-
hater.
I think my dog's barking to go out, so I'm carrying this with me, and we're getting a tour of the house.
Love to see it. All right, I'll talk for a minute about aggressively bidding with the contestants on The Price is Right.
Please.
So since quarantine has happened in the middle of March, my day has noticeably improved from the hours of 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. when I get serenaded by the dulcet tones of Drew Carey on The Price is Right. Fucking fantastic. It makes me so goddamn happy, and it makes me happier when I would have won and gotten on to play the game. I yell, I scream, I get incredibly mad when people bid $1 over somebody else, and then immediately when another person bids $1 over the overbidder, I say, "Fuck you, asshole." That's right.
You get what you deserve.
It is, yes, it's a bit of revenge. I get way too into The Price is Right lately. I yell at people. I think maybe, you do a lot of grocery shopping, and pretty much all the games have to do with pricing things you found in a grocery store. Tons of them. And if you do a lot of grocery shopping, you can dominate these games. And some people just don't fucking grocery shop. It's so embarrassing.
To be fair, though, who hasn't yelled at their TV over something like this?
Right.
I've been
True.
there. Who wants to be a millionaire? I'm screaming at them. They're dumb. Especially if they can't figure out anything under 16,000 and they're using lifelines. What a mistake. That's bad. That's bad showmanship there.
Is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire still on?
Yeah, I think Jimmy
in some
Kimmel
countries.
just was the host of like a special for it.
Okay.
And then like I was just watching the remake of Weakest Link with Jane Lynch hosting it. I was yelling at that as well.
Oh, God.
There were some weak links.
I guess there's just something about aggressively bidding on The Price is Right that's specifically funny for me. Because it's something that everybody, I feel, maybe you're just brave enough to yell at the screen, because I feel like a lot of people don't get as into it. Because I definitely wouldn't go, "Fuck you, asshole,"
Oh, Julian, you're
over
no
and
fun.
over bidder or something like
This
that.
kind of reminds me of the people that get into like Jeopardy with the answers, Like I think of Groundhog's Day with the scene where we're watching Jeopardy, shouting out like the answer.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think either of these are really that weird.
I mean, I got a clear
No.
vote for me. But...
Yeah, to be
Yeah, I know what you're voting for, Dave. It's the
Yeah,
wrong
uh-huh.
answer.
Okay,
I
well
know
then
what
you
I'm
know what
voting
you're
for.
voting for.
Yeah, I do. I know. I'm voting for the aggressively yelling.
I'm voting for aggressively yelling too.
Well, I got to refresh because God hates me.
I wonder why that's happening.
Because God hates me.
Uh,
We've gone over that.
All the Funko Pops blocking his
Yeah.
Wi-Fi signal.
I knew he was going to say something about Funko Pops. I was just waiting for it.
Funko Pops are great. They're a fun collectible.
They are
It could be
great.
a business. You can make a business out of it.
I'll also vote for Funko Pops.
Oh, Tom, decider.
I'm going to do the bidding.
Okay.
That was our closest one, though. Probably because both of them are going to get stomped by buying Japanese video games.
Yeah, that might be the case. All right, moving on. Our next matchup is walking in and out of rooms against writing rules. I know, Julian, you had walking in and out of rooms. Care
Yeah.
to describe?
I wouldn't say it's so much as a hobby as it is like just a habit.
Mhm.
But where it turns into a hobby sometimes is just like, how you just want to feel the atmosphere of a certain room, so you move to another room. But then it's immediately when you sit down and you're just like, I kind of regret this decision. So I get up and then I go to the previous room. I just be walking in and out of rooms a lot. I just can't sit still.
Yeah, I get up a lot too, especially when I don't need to. I'm just gonna walk into the living room, look around, come back into my room.
I think the worst
But
is like,
is it a
like when
hobby?
you forget something, like you're looking for something and then you completely forget what it is. And then you're just standing around looking like, what? Why did I come here? And then you go
Mhm.
right back to the same room and then you remember what it was that you were looking for. That happens to me a lot.
But is it a hobby?
Yeah, it's not so much, like that's what I said. It's not so much a hobby as it is a habit.
But
Yeah.
writing rules is bills, is it not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can kind of speak on it because every now and then he'll message me on like Facebook. Like I don't know, over the years he's like messaged me about rules he's come up for a tabletop RPG that just doesn't, I don't know if he's still working on it, but like, I've never seen him put out like a finished piece of it. Or I remember talking to him about a card game that he wanted to make like 8 years ago, where it was like about Nintendo franchises, and you had to like make a deck out of like a franchise and stuff like that. So I assume that's where the writing rules comes in, is just kind of coming up with rules for like tabletop or RPG stuff.
That's cool.
Well, I know a lot about it too, though. Like he's very much like a planner. Like this whole podcast was his idea. He likes to kind of.
Oh, we'll get to that on another entry.
I know, but he's very much like a planner. He's a thinker, and he likes rules. I mean, as weird as that sounds, he likes the idea of rules and making rules and creating ideas, and that's just Bill. It's I think it's kind of cool.
Like recently he asked me if you had to like remove or change like the D&D attribute, like strength, dexterity, and all that, like what would you change and stuff like that. So I assume that's what this entry is.
Oh yeah, it's exactly.
I thought it was something totally different.
What'd you think it was?
I
like
thought
laws?
It was rules about writing, like grammar
writing
writing
rules.
stories and plots and protagonists and stuff like that.
That could also
and like
be
learning about those things, which I know Bill's
I
a
feel
writer
like he
as well.
would do that.
So maybe, I mean, I agree with you guys since you have actual proof. But
Well, when
But
Bill
still-
listens to this episode, he'll tell us which one. The whole thing is, whichever one it is, it's a cool hobby, but it's beating the habit.
Yeah. I guess the only thing I would say would maybe be the worst is like, and I don't think you need to produce anything out of writing rules, but like, I don't know, maybe that doesn't feel great but I don't know. I don't think you need to have a finished product if you just enjoy writing rules. So
Rule making is
That's
something
a
that
real weird writing rules in general. If it's specifically for nothing in general, like that's what I thought it was. He just writes rules to write rules, like rules for opening this closet. Like that's okay.
Look, we're gonna learn a little bit more about Bill with some of his other habits and hobbies and stuff here. Could be.
just really elaborate OCD.
Yeah, but you know what? It's I mean, yeah, I got nothing else to say. Anyone else want to talk about Bill's rule making?
No.
no, I was wrong entirely, so I don't have anything else to say.
You could be right though, because Bill's a writer.
Maybe.
And I've seen him write stories before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I
voting for the one
accidentally
that's
turned
a
one of
hobby.
his stories in as homework once. It wasn't actually an accident, though. I intended to do that.
I'll also vote for rule writing.
Same.
I'm gonna vote for rule writing.
Tom?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All
All
right.
right. Next matchup, another Bill one, but I think we can all kind of figure out what this one means. Learning about religions and cults against binge watching RuPaul's Drag Race.
I mean,
Kind of the same thing.
I think
It
both
really
of these are
is.
pretty self-explanatory as well. Julian,
That
you're
falls under
RuPaul,
reality
right?
TV, though.
You was a what? Tom, what'd you say?
The RuPaul falls under reality TV. Like that goes under that one, in my opinion.
It does, but at the same time, like if you've watched enough of RuPaul's Drag Race, it is almost like learning about a religion or a cult because there's specific lingo that's used. There's certain rules of etiquette that they have to use and stuff like that. And then I eventually started picking up some of the lingo. I didn't know what fish was for the longest time, but after watching RuPaul's Drag Race, I definitely know what fish is.
Yeah,
So-
it's an underwater creature, Julian.
No, it's not. No.
Not quite.
No. No, but I genuinely enjoy the show. It's in the beginning seasons, it was really creative and they had really interesting challenges that they had to create their outfits for, and then they also have to do performances. There's like my favorite game, which is the Snatch game, where they have to impersonate a celebrity of their choosing. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's awful. It's genuinely, I enjoy watching it. But the later seasons, Tom, I see what you're talking about. It's gotten very, very much drama-like in reality TV, which I really don't like, which is where they picked up RuPaul's Drag Race is All Stars, which is more competition based, which you would see in the beginning seasons and all that whatnot. But yeah, that's my
Kind of surprised how much you know about this.
What? Oh man, COVID-19 changed everything.
Yeah,
I think so.
I mean, look, I agree with Julian. COVID-19 changed a lot of things. I'm about ready to join Bachelor Nation, and Julian's about ready to join RuPaul's Drag Race.
Man, I'd be happy if I could be a guest judge. That'd be so dope.
Fuck, if I could be a guest judge on any of those stupid shows, I would do it.
That would be fucking great, yo.
You
gonna join 90 Day Fiance?
Look.
I just want to be that one friend who's just like, "Why are you doing this?"
I want to be the person who does the tell-all.
Yes, be the moderator.
We'll get to that because that moved on. I'll get into tell-all later.
Jesus.
I'll talk about the religion and cult thing because I do this a little bit as well. I just assume Bill does it on a whole nother level.
Yeah. I picture Bill having like a little shrine when he's starting to learn about he's got a little room where he erects a statue that he,
I mean, this goes a lot into like, so the religion thing. I mean, when I was in college, I had to take religion classes. I took 3 different religions than I'm commonly used to. And even those are more common religions. But beyond that, like I've done research on all sorts of religions of like whatever comes up. If I'm watching something and a religion comes up that I've never heard of, I'll research it for a couple hours. I'm assuming Bill just does this like to a level that I can't really describe. The cult one I find more interesting because, like, I watch a lot of true crime stuff, and I think that is on the list somewhere. I think, but like, you get a lot of weird cult shit with true crime stuff, and then I'll like start researching it, and then I'll get worried, like, oh man, I wonder what like the FBI agent assigned to me is thinking as I'm researching all this cult stuff.
I feel like that's like a slippery slope to learning about conspiracy theories.
Oh yeah, that's another fun realm to get into. I don't believe any conspiracy theories, but dear God, do I sure read about them. We were gonna have a whole list on it, and Dave introduced me to more that I looked into. It's fun.
I just pictured Bill knowing a lot about cults, and then not in a weird way, but also in a weird way.
I assume Bill, if you name a cult, Bill could tell you like its founding members.
I feel like Bill's the one person that knows what is when I like mentioned it the other day or the other podcast. It's that it's a doomsday cult that was in Japan that had a terrorist attack. But
he's like,
Bill
yeah, let me tell you their history.
The name when I had mentioned it.
He goes into an elaborate history of the cult, and
yeah.
He's like, oh, here, I got some of their memorabilia here.
All right. Are we ready to vote on this one?
Yeah.
I am.
I think the cult
ready to reload the page.
Yeah. I think the cult religion one is the weirder one, I guess.
Yeah,
I do that one. But when Bill puts something on their list, especially after I learned about some of the other ones I had to describe, it's probably to an extreme.
I'm going to vote for binge watching RuPaul's Drag Race. I just think that, learning about something like that, going online, doing research, reading books, like it's never a bad hobby to read.
That's really not.
But let me say, I'm explaining it from how I do it. Again, we have to assume Bill takes it to another level than just learning.
That's fair.
Well, if you took it to another level, wouldn't you have put that in our initial list? Like
it wasn't
creating my own, like you said, creating my own shrine about Jim Jones.
But Bill's list when he did it was more vague, and even this is something like I've done. I didn't have it on my list, so I assume Bill really does it.
Bill's gonna listen to this and be like, "What the fuck do you think I am?"
I think I don't think it's wrong. I just think it's his thing. He's learning, and we know. Look, we'll get to it. We'll get to what one of his is that I found awesome.
I want to know about bed fighting later on.
That's the one.
Same.
That is the one.
I don't really have a strong feeling towards any of these. I don't think either of these are that bad.
I'm gonna go with binge watching RuPaul's Drag Race.
Thank you.
Dave,
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with religions and cults just because we have a reality TV show one, and I understand the early seasons of RuPaul weren't necessarily like trashy TV, but it sounds like it became that. So just for more variety.
Cool. Makes sense. Next
fair.
matchup. We've got watching Vine compilations against buying/collecting shoes. All
I
right,
want
I
to hear
had
the Vine thing.
I had Vine compilations. I absolutely loved Vine when it was an app. I thought it was
I
fantastic.
thought it was amazing.
I hate you too. I hate you too.
It is fantastic. I have my Vine coloring book right here. My Vine
that's
doodle book.
awesome.
Wow.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh
Yep,
God.
it's cool. There's like 30 of them, and I've colored a few in.
Could I
It's
see
a lot.
What are like the
coloring?
entries in there? Like, what are
It's
you
just
actually coloring?
like screenshots from certain Vines.
Logan
Adrian,
Paul's
Michael,
face?
I'm gonna beat your ass.
Okay.
If you've seen the Vine, you'd know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
But these are some of the more famous, I guess, if you will, Vines. Stuff that's kind of made its way into pop culture a little bit. Just
Oh, for
regular
sure.
Taking
culture.
the time to color them, which is interesting.
It doesn't take very long. It's only like 2 or 3 hours a piece.
I'm not gonna lie, Andy.
Kidding.
You and I share a lot of similar hobbies.
And Vine is also very funny. I always like watching them online on YouTube, and there'll be compilations titled
Compilations, yeah.
Vines That Bake My Potato or something dumb shit like that. But I like dumb shit humor, and I think Vine is great. But still watching something that's like 5 or 6 years old, kind of lame. Kind of lame. I yield the floor.
I hate Vine. I used to like Vine.
Your
but then
loss.
I just don't like it. All right, so shoe collecting. I think Julian is the only one I've shown and had in-depth conversation about it with. Dave probably just found out about it recently when he was looking for a pair of shoes. I told him about. He found StockX and I explained it to him and everything. I have 5 pairs of shoes here. Goat. I prefer StockX. Whatever. Same thing. So I have about 70-ish pairs of shoes. It grows regularly. And so I buy normal shoes sometimes, but usually not. I have 5 of my not so regular shoes here. We'll start with the one I find the most regular. And these are just like weirdly colored. Hard to tell. It's green, like Easter color green, pink, and purple. And
What kind of shoes are those?
They're called Have a Nike Day. And they make smiley
Have a
faces.
Nike Day.
They make smiley faces with the Nike swoosh. on
And they're actually Adidas. It's not Nike.
No, they're Nike. I love these. They're
Those
a
are
little
Taco Bell shoes.
Yeah, they're a little dirty. I need to clean them.
I think that's what I called them as well.
Yeah.
Also, like I like to keep my shoes clean and stuff, which is like a whole nother ordeal other
Nothing
than
wrong
just
with that.
buying them. These are also my not as loud ones. They're Iron Man shoes. They're like front of it looks like armor. So they're weird stuff. Here's the one I've been waiting to show. They're my Mystery Machine shoes.
That is fun.
It's so cool. I love
Those
these.
are fun.
Okay.
I've got Chicago shoes. It's got the Chicago flag on
That's
it.
dope.
I love
That's
these.
dope.
I wear these around a lot. They're fun. And then my PlayStation shoes. Literally PlayStation.
I've been looking for those.
They light up.
I love that.
Yeah. Also, if we're gonna talk about financial problems or
Shoes ain't cheap.
No.
Shoes are not cheap.
I don't have a pair here that's under $175. Oh, the Mystery Machines were $120. But I don't at this point don't own a pair of shoes that I didn't spend triple digits on.
Mm-hmm.
So, and
I
own
feel like
70.
True definition of a sneakerhead.
I feel like I could get into this except for the fact that I'm a men's 14 and it's hard to find shoes.
Shoes are cool. I don't know.
You
I
could
don't like.
flip those.
I don't worry about fashion too much. Like I wear t-shirts, but I care about the shoes I wear. I don't know why. It's a really stupid thing to
You're a
be into.
sneakerhead. That's why.
It's not a hobby I talk about much. I kind of keep it to myself. I post when I get new shoes on Instagram. My Instagram's probably my biggest tell, but I don't talk about it much.
I feel like you bring it up whenever someone enters your home and you have like 5 shoes at the door, though. I feel like I've always seen you bring it up to someone who's not been in your home before.
Because it's weird when you see, like, you walk in and there's like fucking 5 shoes and one of them is like.
I feel like I've seen you do it at a party where there's a lot of shoes there anyways, and you're like, by the way, 5 of those are mine. I feel like I've seen that happen before.
You do that sometimes.
I'm super proud of it, but I don't talk about it much.
No, I think the time that I first discovered that you liked shoes was because you had I think this was when you first started. And you had a pair of shoes that I really liked. And I was like, oh shit, those shoes are fire. And you're just like, oh yeah, I want to get some more. And then you showed me like 4 or 5 more shoes that you really wanted to get. And then you got them. And it just went from there.
Look, and it's so weird because like I try to get the ones like most people like, but also like when there's a partnership, that I'm interested in, I try to get like most of the shoes within that partnership line. I just got a bunch of Simpsons ones from Vans Simpsons collaboration.
If you can find a pair of Huarachis, let me know. I'm pretty sure you can find a pair of Nike Huarachis.
I can't.
I think it's pronounced horchata.
I like how Tom is like being mad quiet this whole time. He's just like, y'all motherfuckers are weird.
Tom lived with me, and I was not really into shoes at that point, but I started buying some. That's when I started buying like a lot of Pumas. I just didn't talk
I only have
about
one
it.
pair of unique shoes that I got from that Vans Super Mario collection that I bought that I liked.
I've got 5 of those.
I never wear them, but I like them. I like the look of them.
I also wear my shoes, which is a bit of a problem as well. Within like people like to keep them pristine.
Do you ever wear more than 1 pair per day?
Yes.
Like if you go to one place, you like run your errands, and you come home, and later you go to someone's house, you put on a different pair.
Yes.
Okay.
I've worn the most I've worn in a day is 4.
I'm more than positive Andy just goes around town flossing his new shoes and shit like that.
Dude, I love
kicks, baby.
Again, I'm not a fashion guy. I mostly wear jeans and a hoodie. I try to look like presentable, but I don't care that much. But with the shoes,
Man.
Hey Kelly, I want to go walk around the neighborhood to show off my new shoes for about an hour. Don't worry, I'll be back.
I swear, I bet you probably does that.
No,
man,
I'm not that
Andy,
insane.
if you decided you wanted to start like coordinating your outfits with your shoes, you'd be the flyest motherfucker on your cul-de-sac.
I thought about doing it. I want to lose weight first, but that's probably the next step. Is like coordinating with my shoes.
Outfit, yep.
Like
Imagine
it'll center
Andy
around my
mowing
shoes.
his lawn and stuff like that, and his fresh new kicks and shit like that.
No, I actually
you see my new shoes?
I actually have a pair of shoes I mow the lawn in because I hiked in them once and they kind of started ripping up. I'm like, I got
okay.
I'm
You
not.
gotta
I'm
have
not
a garbage
doing
pair
these.
for mowing the lawn.
These are my nice things.
I always just keep my old shoes for lawn mowing shoes.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, I won't disrespect my shoes like that.
Mm-hmm.
We ready to vote?
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote for Vine because I think shoes are cool.
Boo.
I don't
I'm
want people to hate on shoes. Shoes are
I'm
cool.
I'm voting shoes because I'm jealous due to my shoe size.
Shoes are so fun. I mean, like, look, I could find you guys some cool shoes and stuff. Julian, I sent you Dragon Ball Z shoes before.
Yes, you did, and they were fucking great. The Vegeta ones were great.
They've got 4. They've got like a Cell, a Frieza, a Goku, and a Vegeta.
Mm-hmm. I want the Vegeta one so bad. The Vegeta
It's
ones
also
are
a
so
cost
fire.
thing.
Yeah. The Vine is free. The shoes, like those Vegeta ones I sent you, Julian, are like $400.
Oh God.
You say, oh God, I'm about ready to buy some Yeezys. The only thing holding me back is Kanye's a dick.
Wait, you're gonna buy Yeezys? I hope you're not gonna buy the new ones, the ones where they just look like
No.
a
I have
screensaver.
No. I have a specific pair I want to buy.
Oh, okay.
It's not the
All
new
right.
ones.
I gotta go. I gotta vote for Vine compilations because I just love shoes.
Shoes are fun.
Shoes are great.
Yeah, I agree. There's nothing wrong with collecting shoes. I think that's kind of cool.
I
There's
almost
something
bought a
terribly wrong with Vine.
I almost bought a pair of
It's
shoes
not around
that,
anymore.
that were made out of Levi jeans. So that's where it's gone.
Ugh.
That's the problem it's become.
That's an easy one to match to your outfit, though.
All right, enough about the shoes.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about those anymore.
All right, coming down to the bottom of the very first round, we've got lists, making lists, creating lists. I remember this was a bill entry against shadowboxing, which was something that was on both mine and Julian's list.
All right, let me before you get into shadow boxing, because that's going to require more of an explanation. I'll do Bill's. Look at the podcast that we do.
Yeah, he likes creating ideas that could be lists.
Rules and lists.
He told me what he does every year is he'll rank on a list every movie he watches that year that came out that year, and then like do a best of list.
Honestly, that sounds cool to me.
I
That
think
does sound pretty
I
cool.
I would like to look back on the year and be like, you know what, this is
Tedious.
what I really liked about this year. That feels like a cool, like, up positive kind of thing to do.
I'll be honest. He got me to do it one year when he
Yeah.
mentioned it. I'm like, I'm gonna do that. That's fun. Now he does it every year consistently. He does it with TV shows, I think too. He uses the IMDb app, I think. I downloaded it because of his
Yeah.
thing. I think I like it, but that's about it with the list. I mean, it's common sense. We do a whole show about lists.
All right.
Do you want me to take shadowboxing or do you want to take shadowboxing?
I mean,
we both
if-
do it.
Yeah. I usually shadowbox when watching UFC fights, or
Okay, yeah.
that's probably when I start doing it. That's when it's more fun. I can pretend to actually be getting my ass kicked by somebody who's much smaller than I am.
Just
But I don't know. I walk into rooms and do it. I think it's an easy way to exercise. It's
Mhm.
incredibly tiring when you think about it. Like a 5-minute fight in either a boxing match or a 3-minute fight in a boxing match or a 5-minute UFC round. That shit is exhausting. After 5
It
minutes, you are
is.
huffing and puffing, and that's even if you're just shadow boxing and not actually boxing. Like it's hard, man.
Yep. I'd shadowbox mostly for just the exercise part, but I find myself doing random stuff. Like if I'm cooking eggs in the morning, I'll just shadowbox while I'm waiting up for my eggs to fry. Like I'm just shadowboxing over the eggs. I'm slipping and yeah. So I think it's a great exercise. It's something kind of take your mind off of things if you're too stressed about stuff. That's when I beat up my politicians and stuff like that. I fixate on a politician I don't like and then a shadow box for about 30 seconds, then go back to what I was doing, then go back to the fight, then I'll go back to what I was doing for a second, sit down, eat, get back up, shadow box for a little bit more. So accessible, so easy to do. I recommend it to everybody. Matter of fact, everybody, as soon as you get off of this bracket up, shadow box for 30 seconds, you'll see exactly what Andy's talking about.
It is not easy. I also try to shadow box myself in the mirror.
Oh,
I never win.
That's
I
so
don't win.
fun. You always get hit. You're never gonna not
Right.
get hit.
It's harder to do, and then you break your hands on the mirror, the glasses everywhere.
It would just
Big
be
old
really
cleanup
weird
job.
if it'd be really weird if you pretended like you got hit every time you did it in the mirror. You throw a jab. Oh.
It's like
That
playing
would be
ping
fun.
pong against the wall. You'll never win.
Exactly right.
The wall always wins.
The wall always wins.
Look, I'm gonna be frank. These two and disc golf were the three that I thought were the least weird.
Okay.
I guess I'll vote. If I'm gonna
Go
vote
ahead.
though, I'll vote
Yeah.
for the lists.
You're gonna have a
I'm
refresh.
voting list too. I can't admit.
Yeah.
I don't consider. Yeah, I would consider that more of a hobby.
Shadow boxing is like an exercise. Like, holy hell! Like, I used to do it for hockey. Like, it was a warm up for me. So I didn't do it to the extent you guys are doing. And yeah, that shit's good. That's good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Lists.
I guess we gotta go lists.
Man,
Makes no sense.
I like lists. I'm picking shadow boxing. I love lists and statistics and stuff like that. I don't think that's
I might make
a
my own
hobby
list.
at all.
now.
Look, I think everyone here likes List because we're doing Bracket Up.
Right.
And it's up
Clearly.
against a very interesting one for me to describe. So.
I'll wait for next round. Oh, I am excited for that one. We got 2 more matchups here in round number 1. The first one, Andy, this is you collecting retro game consoles against Andy, you letting Dave try to convince you to enjoy anime.
Let me do the game
go-
consoles
That's
first.
a hobby.
Yeah, do the game consoles first.
The game consoles is going to be self-explanatory. I think it's cool. I think most people here will think it's cool. But it's expensive and excessive. So we're going to my basement. And we're going
For some reason, I was wondering where you were going, and I was concerned you were walking into the bathroom.
No. I'm in the basement because that's where my retro game consoles are. And I don't think I ever showed this part of the basement on the podcast. But I have 3 TVs, and all of them have game consoles attached. Hundreds. Well, not hundreds. I have 26. So,
Hey, there's your new OLED.
yeah,
My
there's my new
name's Andy
OLED.
Mysek, and this has been MTV Cribs. See you guys later.
Well, I mean, look, retro game console collecting isn't weird until it gets obsessive. That's like how most of my hobbies are. They've gotten
I feel like
obsessive.
this bracket was just a great way for you just to floss all the shit you have in your house. You showed us shoes, video games that people have never
Listen,
played before.
Dave's
all your
spending
retro...
money on virtual items. Look at my physical collections.
Well, to be fair, I think it's cooler than the digital items. No, it's a weird hobby in terms of the obsessiveness of it. It comes down to obsessiveness, and that's a problem.
Man, how obsessed are you?
I have 26 consoles. How could one person play 26 consoles consistently?
Michael Jackson did the same thing.
And look at him. He's a lunatic.
He's dead.
He's dead.
He was a
Was the
lunatic.
It's a dead
Man,
lunatic.
leave Mike alone.
I think
Not gonna let you talk bad about Mike.
I think the fame is the big blame of that, not anything else.
Either way, it's obsessive. And that's what makes a weird hobby is the level of obsession it becomes.
This is worst hobby.
Okay. I mean, if we're talking about the financial implications of that, most people would be like, you've got a problem. It's a bad hobby.
I also don't think collecting stuff is that weird.
It's not.
But it's worst. So
It's
if you're looking
bad,
at the
not worse.
I mean, you're arguing against
Alright, it's
yourself
worse.
here because the other thing it's up against is also you.
Yeah, I've let Dave take me down some rabbit holes with anime.
I think you're too resistant to your own enjoyment of what you've watched.
I like 4.
It's okay to like more if you think you like them, but you don't want to admit it. It's fine.
I'm not so far. JoJo's hasn't done anything for me yet. That's gotten me like excited. It's not bad. Like I don't
feel
think
like that would be one thing that you really like. JoJo is so crazy and wacky, and I feel like you would love it.
to me it hasn't
and
gotten to this level, and it could be because it's been hyped up so much.
So
Just
far,
like I
the
did
only
with
stuff you
Riverdale.
like is shonen, and JoJo's is shonen, and it's wacky and weird. I just feel like you're trying to temper your own enjoyment of stuff because you don't want to be
No.
like, I like anime.
Look,
fine.
but I don't say I
You
don't
watch
like.
Riverdale.
I
and
don't
you
say
keep
I don't
trying
like
to get us
anime
to watch
anymore.
Riverdale.
Okay, what does that have to do with anime?
You
Riverdale
like
is
the weird
stupid.
aspects of Riverdale.
And you're sitting here trying to say, I don't like JoJo. You know
I
you
didn't say-
do.
I
I
didn't
know you would like JoJo. I bet you do.
I've seen more JoJo than you. I've definitely gone further than you.
And I like JoJo.
yeah,
it's okay.
JoJo's good.
I like JoJo, but I definitely agree with Dre. Why are you trying to downplay your love for anime?
I'm just saying, don't be ashamed of enjoying something.
Hold on.
That's the impression I get.
Except for the point that I've bought a bunch of mangas based on the animes I enjoy and have
Yeah.
read them.
I'm just saying, I feel like every time you watch
So
something
you like
new,
anime?
yeah.
To a degree. I said I liked 4. I'm not sold on JoJo's. I liked the JoJo of last season. I don't like this JoJo yet. And this is Dave's favorite.
Who's your
JoJo.
favorite character?
It's my favorite JoJo, yeah.
Joseph.
Who's your favorite character, Andy?
Joseph Joestar.
He was the American JoJo.
Joseph?
Yeah, the one that
American
One,
got through based on convenience and convenience alone.
Yeah, the one that would always have like be like, "Oh, I outsmarted, you're outsmarting," or like he would always have like a plan that you would out of nowhere. That's his favorite JoJo right now.
If you could describe, and Andy, if you could describe your favorite scene in JoJo, could you describe it?
Flashing lights, lots of movement. No, I like the Coliseum fight.
Sure.
Okay. So you like anime?
Yeah.
I didn't say I disliked it. Dave is trying
Just
to
say
push
you
it
like anime. That's all I want you to say is I like anime.
That's my point. You seem afraid to just say I like anime.
I like certain animes.
You have to qualify it every time.
But
Just say it.
But here's the thing. I have only seen maybe 10-ish anime, 11, and I like 4.
Yeah, so you like anime. It's as simple as that.
Okay, I like anime.
Say it.
But I don't like all of it. Like,
Ah.
here's the thing.
You can't do it, Julian.
I just want you to say, you have to say, my name's Andy Mysek, and I like anime.
Period. No follow-up.
But wait.
That's it.
But wait. Why do
like
I have
AA.
to, what if you're telling me to like an entire genre, but I don't like
because your entry here says try to convince you. There's no convincing. I'm just showing you shows and you end up liking some.
Okay. So then what is wrong with me saying I like some of the animes you showed me?
Because you don't want to say I like anime, period. No follow-up.
Because there's more
you don't want to fully commit.
There's more anime that you show that I don't like than I do like.
Okay.
So then how could I go, well, I like anime if I like...
You do. We can move on. We're just going in a circle.
Okay, yeah, we're going in circles.
I don't understand the logic of it. I'm going to vote for the anime one.
No, I don't think it should be on this list. It's not a thing.
I didn't put it on this list.
I didn't.
That was
your
me.
own
I'm
entry.
sorry.
I'm voting for the anime one.
I'm going retro game consoles.
No, I don't want to let this die. I'm going to let Dave try to convince me that I should like anime.
If I say I like anime, will you change your vote?
You have to mean it. You can say
Wait.
you're just saying that just to
Hold
get us
on,
to
I'm
shut up. I
confused
want
now.
you to
You
fully admit it. You like anime.
Oh,
You
wait.
want him to
Oh, no,
vote against the one you voted for?
Oh, good point. I'm voting for the game consoles. Good point.
Yeah, I don't consider convincing someone a hobby. I got to go with game consoles.
Oh, come on, Tom.
Well, I do, Tom.
It's not a hobby.
When you spend
Come
as
on,
much
Tom.
time watching the anime,
Stall
with
me
Dave,
out,
it
man.
becomes
Stall me
a
out.
hobby. Dave comes over once a week and we watch anime.
Yeah, but that's not me trying to convince you that you should like anime.
Every time you're like, "Oh, we're gonna watch some JoJo's," you're gonna love
Yeah, because we're watching JoJo's.
You're gonna love it.
Then again, you are letting him. You're
literally-
letting him, so you know it's coming.
Yeah.
I know. Oh,
Literally,
I know.
as soon as you guys were like, "Yeah, we both don't like K-On!" I'm like, "Okay, cool. We don't watch K-On! Then. Like, let's not. If you guys don't like it, we're not gonna watch it. That's fine.
She likes
Like,
JoJo's more.
I'm
than
not trying
JoJo.
to convince you to watch everything I'm showing you.
Look,
You know?
I am gonna give JoJo's the full series chance
Okay.
because every season's different. So maybe I'll like season 4 and 5 a lot more.
I want you to make a Facebook post update saying that you like anime.
Julie,
That's what's going to
there's
convince me.
pictures on my
No
Instagram
comments,
of
nothing.
me drawing My Hero Academia stuff. Clearly, I like some anime.
Then why are you saying I like some
I mean,
anime.
you know, I wouldn't say.
We don't need all
It's
that.
been decided.
It's Andy. It's the old adage: words speak louder than actions. You gotta. Mhm.
Fully commit.
All
right, last
speaking
matchup,
speaking
finally.
Of annoying things.
Yeah, speaking of annoying things, watching and listening to YouTube and true crime podcasts against VTubers.
You know, the great thing here is the VTubers also plays into the anime thing for Andy, because Andy does not want to give it a chance because it's an anime character.
You showed me VTubers. I don't even like watching games.
You stream yourself, and the only
Yes.
reason you don't like VTubers streaming is because it's an anime character.
I don't watch other people.
Anyways,
I'm gonna
another
need-
entry of questionable financial decisions. I got into VTubers this year in July. Just for reference, it's October. And then in August, since August, I've spent $343.93 on VTubers. Mostly
Okay,
Super Chat. Where you
I
make
need a crash course.
VTuber. So VTuber is just someone streaming as an anime character. They put out, it's kind of, I've seen a comparison to wrestling where they have a persona that they're playing up. Like, so it's kind of based on their own personality, but, they're playing a character.
Okay.
And you just you donate to the VTuber if you're enjoying the stream, or maybe they have a big milestone and you're like, hey, cool, congratulations, here's some fucking money, here's a
All right,
donation.
so these are basically YouTubers who are streaming video games or whatever.
Yeah, or just like
Okay.
whatever they're looking to stream. Some
And
people
you-
stream making
And
food.
you
or whatever.
mocked me for flexing my collection. Here's Dave flexing. his
I'm donating
donations.
to a person. This is money going to someone else, not a thing sitting on a shelf. So I don't feel bad about donating money to someone providing entertainment that I'm enjoing. Whatever.
Is that not the shoe thing? I'm donating to the company making the shoes to make.
No, because I'm
shoes.
donating to a person, not a corporation.
Yeah.
Though I will specify though that some of their YouTube does get a cut, which sucks. Like I don't think YouTube should get a cut, but yeah. So some of that is just chat, like donations, like hey, here's whatever, thanks for the stream. Others is like a monthly subscription thing. So
Okay.
VTubers are cool. They're just good streamers. They're enjoyable. They're entertaining. They're fun.
Yeah, nothing there sounds worst to me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's. I don't
Now, True Crime Podcasts. This shit's awful.
I love true crime. This was on my list. I'm pretty sure this was on Bill's list. I know Julian watches true crime. I know you watch true crime, Jerrick.
What?
You don't watch true crime? I thought you did for sure. Like murder mysteries and like
I watched
unsolved
Making
crime.
a Murderer. No, I've got nothing against
That's
true
true
crime.
crimes.
Dave listens to podcasts.
Yeah, criminal and. stuff
Tom,
like
do you do true crime stuff?
Not so much podcast wise, but I've watched a few like docu-series or like unsolved mysteries and stuff like that.
Okay,
Man,
so
Tom doesn't do none of the weird shit we do. He's normal.
I know, that's why I'm like, oh god.
So here's my level of true crime. So I showed Julian BuzzFeed's Unsolved, and that's like
I
a
love
fun.
BuzzFeed's Unsolved.
That's a fun, goofy series of them just going over true crimes, and there's like a comedic twist. They also do supernatural stuff. Sucks they're on BuzzFeed. I'm not a huge fan of that, but otherwise, like I like those two. They're funny. But that's not even what I'm talking about with this. I'm talking about like hour-plus long deep dives into crimes and like crime scenes and trying to figure out like here's who did it, who might have done it. Here's the evidence. Just like long deep dives into it. Yeah, I've spent a lot of time listening to this. Like, this is what I sometimes, if I'm not listening to like video game stuff or music, this has been my go-to like in the background during work. It's weird, I know, but like
I don't think it's weird.
No.
Oh, cool. Okay,
No.
then it's good.
Not weird.
I find it super fascinating. I find this isn't true crime, but a part of it is also like supernatural stuff because I don't believe in it. So watching videos and listening to videos of people who do believe in it, I find also very interesting. Just a different perspective of it. I think it's cool. But yeah, true crime, murder. Not always murder. Sometimes people don't die. Sometimes it has nothing to do with it. Just it tends to fall on murder and disappearance a lot. So
You should listen to Criminal. You should listen to S-Town. You should listen to Case File. Like, there's the thing you're doing of listening to something in the background. That's perfect for a podcast. At least podcasts.
yeah, but sometimes I'll like flip over if they're showing like images and stuff of like the case. Like I like that I could flip over if they're showing like here's crime scene photos and like now I can see the crime scene.
Hmm.
It's just like again, I say it's weird because of the amount. Like I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours, and like
Yeah, I mean, I've listened to all of Criminal S Town. I listened to Case File, and I don't have anything else. Like that's not.
I just don't know. Like maybe it's because I don't talk about it. I just found out recently that Kelly does the same thing. And I'm like, oh, why have we never talked about this? We've been married and slash dating for almost 15 years.
That is weird.
But like, it's just like, oh, crime stuff is interesting. I don't know a lot of people who openly talk about liking it.
I mean, people loved Making a Murderer. People liked Tiger King, which had some true crime elements to it.
But I'm not even talking about that level. Like,
but that's true crime still.
Yeah, it's true crime. I get it, but I'm talking about like not televised, not like Making a Murderer had an agenda to it. Tiger King had an agenda to it. Something that's on YouTube, I sometimes does, but for the most part, it's just displaying the facts of the crime. The crime.
Well, then you would really like Case File.
I'm sure I would. I
think we should
literally
all
just
listen to Case File.
I might. I mean,
it's sometimes a little weird. The only thing I'll say with Case File is he says it in such a monotone, flat way that it feels weird that someone's describing like horrific stuff in such a normal way. That's the only weird thing with Case File for me. But yeah, there's like 159 episodes of that you can listen to, Andy. So there you go.
But that's the thing. Like, I think the weird part of it to me is maybe my level of desensitization to it. Like, I'm desensitized to the idea of it. I find it interesting more than horrific. Obviously, when they start talking about kids, I get a little squeamish. I'm like, I don't like that part of it. But otherwise, like, I'm very
I don't think it's that weird that you're into it though.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Martha's into that. She does.
Listen,
that
if you're like, I listen to this because I want to know how to reenact all this stuff, then yeah, fucking weird.
No. Yeah.
But if you're just like, hey, it's interesting.
Yeah,
whatever.
that is weird.
Yeah. And sometimes I don't talk about it a lot sometimes because I don't know what people are into. So I'm not going to like, people are going to think I'm weird because it's more of an interest than anything else. And again, like when they start talking about like child disappearance, I kind of avoid that. It gets a little weird to me. I don't know. So I guess
harder to listen to. Yeah, that makes sense.
I guess there's some level of empathy and shit to it, I guess. But other than that, like no level of desensitization. Like I'll look at crime scenes. I've like weird mysteries and stuff where like there's bodies. I've seen it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. We good to vote?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going VTubers.
VTubers, baby.
Yeah,
I'm also gonna go VTubers.
From the outside looking in, it's really weird.
I will say in the recent this last couple of 3 weeks, I haven't really been caught up with VTubers, so my spending is 0 now, other than subs.
I guess my lack of understanding is I think it's smart that they're avoiding their showing themselves. I just don't understand the anime aspect of it. Like, do you like it just because it's anime?
No.
Is this the opposite of me?
I mean, hey, the designs are nice. That helps. But I'm not watching people just because it's an anime character. Because if they're a shitty personality, I don't care. Like, whatever. Not gonna watch you.
I'm just busting balls. No need. No need to get.
No. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Andy, just admit you like anime, okay? Just stop trying to bust people's balls and admit you like anime.
You know.
I'm not gonna say I like an entire genre until I like the majority of it.
The anime aesthetic is a introductory poll, but then if the person's not cool, then I'm not gonna. I'm still voting VTubers too, though.
Yeah, so am I.
Yep.
There we go.
This is going to be an ongoing thing between me and Dave. I can guarantee it.
All right.
I'm not going to say I dislike anime. I just, from what Davis showed me, I don't like it.
No, fuck that. I want you to say my name is Andy Mysek and I like anime.
So next up we have disc golf versus watching bad reality TV. Andy, you could explain disc golf, but I think disc golf is a fucking cool-ass hobby. I want to join you in it.
Yeah, I'm going after this podcast. You want to come with?
Maybe, actually.
Okay, cool. 90 minutes in, we finally made it to round 2, guys.
It'll go faster now, though.
Yeah, I know they will.
2 hours actually.
We should go
Yeah,
faster.
almost 2 hours. Yeah, that's been a lot. Okay, disc golf is something that I got into from a friend of mine like 3 or 4 years ago, but I only started kind of taking it seriously about a year and change ago, and it's nice to know I've gotten better at it since then. I guess the more I kind of think about it, it's really not like dorky, but kind of. I feel like it's a little bit lame. You collect fucking plastic. I mean, it's just chunks of different colored plastic. But all of these have completely different flights to them when you throw the disc and patterns and whatnot. It's kind of something that you can really, really get into, and like other ones on this list spend a whole lot of money on stuff. Discs aren't particularly expensive, but there's a lot of people who want like autograph discs, and just I have a friend who buys like the same discs but all in different color, and I don't understand that at all. So he's got like the same fucking disc, and it's in like blue and green and red and yellow and orange, yellow and purple, and it's like, that was $120 for all those. Why? It's like, I like them. Like, oh, okay, that's fine. It's
you get a little exercise being out there, and it's nice to be out in the open air. And
yeah,
we are.
I think like a lot of things, there's like a weird stigma for some of these that like really just like, hey, just enjoy what you enjoy. Like,
well, that's the thing. We wouldn't be talking about these if we didn't care that people knew we did them.
Yeah. Well, I don't care that people know I play Dota or VTubers.
I don't care.
Like,
I
don't know. Yeah, I feel like disc golf is like, like some people might have like a weird stigma thinking it's like weird and dorky, but like whatever, it's cool. Like,
I've played it before a few times.
Yeah, it's fun.
It is fun. It's slowly gaining a presence in the world of sports because it's fucking really cheap to play, and there's like barely any barrier of entry.
I'm bad at it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're bad at it, it can't be that fun walking into the woods every shot or whatever. It's on ESPN2 this weekend, I believe.
The thing that sucks too is if you go early in the morning and there's just mosquitoes fucking everywhere.
Yeah, you're gonna get bit up. You need sunscreen and bug spray pretty much every time you go, depending on if the sun's up or not quite up. I guess that's the biggest downfall.
How do you bring this up in conversation?
Bring up what?
Disc golf and conversations. Like, how do you get people who have?
I don't.
Me. Oh, okay. That answers that question.
I don't bring it up.
Really? I would think that'd be kind of a fun conversation.
Could you imagine just like, hey, you guys want to go play disc golf?
If somebody came up to me that I didn't know and said that, I'd be like, fuck yeah, I do.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I'm taking this notion of like talking about things you like. Someone hating on that is just like the worst like boomer energy. Like, who cares? Let them have fun.
True.
Yeah, but this whole podcast is about boomer energy.
Yeah, well.
Like, let's be honest. I'm very proud of all my hobbies and weird habits and things. I love talking about them and showing them and getting people into it. I've tried to get you guys into the bad reality TV.
Positivity here.
It's fun. It's fun to get people interested in things that they wouldn't typically.
I think of these two, I'm voting for bad reality TV.
I would still rather go disc golfing than watch bad reality TV.
Let me tell you a little bit more about bad reality TV, which we're all going to vote for anyway. Is with the 90 Day Fiance in particular, they do this thing called Tell All, and they started it like halfway through. We all voting for this, by the way.
Yep.
Tom?
I think so.
Yep.
So they do this thing called Tell All, and this is where if I was on the show, I'd want to be. Where they bring all the couples together after the season, and they have them like explain what happened. And there's this moderator, and what she does is she's basically there to like twist the knife and make things worse and start fights. And it's the best. She'll ask like blatantly like leading questions.
Jerry Springer?
Oh God, every season there's somebody's like challenging someone to a fight on 90 Day fucking Fiance. It's great.
Yeah, that does sound really stupid.
Well, Dave,
It's
you got two of
frustrating.
yours up here, and we all know what the winner is.
Yeah, I mean,
We all
Dota's
know.
maybe a questionable financial decision, but spending days installing Skyrim mods is a questionable decision, period. So
Yeah, I'm spending days.
Spending the
and
days.
stuff.
Yeah.
Look,
I just feel bad.
what we all agree here is we find spending habits can be a bad hobby, but there's nothing worse than
Yeah.
spending too much time on something.
yeah,
It shows we've gotten
Right.
older.
with very little reward.
Yeah, it's just sort of like spending money, bad. Spending time, very bad.
All right, next matchup are my fantasy wrestling league or my getting 8 items from the library, only ingesting a
Getting
couple.
8 items.
fucking
easy.
giving
Yeah,
Eight
there's
items.
no question.
Yeah. Everyone does fantasy sports, and while it's a time sink, this one here I don't get.
Sorry, I see things that are like, oh yeah, I can watch that.
I get the idea of like I don't know what I'm going to watch in the next 3 weeks, but it's going to be one of these 8 things. I get that, at least.
Yeah, but I always end up just going back to like something on Hulu or Netflix or
Okay.
a random movie.
But here's
Like
the thing.
there's 3 sitting right there, and I just don't touch them.
It's like only
I don't know
watching
why.
The Office on Netflix.
But here's the thing with the library, which makes it sound like final. Like if there's 3 things I want, I'll buy them, and maybe I won't get to one of them for a while. And he's got 3 weeks. If he doesn't, he returns it and gets 8 other things. Like this thing is now no longer.
That
in
sounds
his
smart
memory.
to me.
But I'm
to
not
have to
spending
buy
any
it.
money. And
Yeah.
That's true.
one of the libraries, I forgot which one by us, it actually calculates how much money you save in a year just
Oh,
by
cool.
going to the library.
That's
and I think
awesome.
Real cool.
for
I don't
2018,
wanna
it was
know
like
that.
$24,000 I saved.
I would love to
That's
know how
so
much I
cool.
saved. That's great.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
want
really
to know
cool.
that. I don't want to know that. 'Cause I have a problem.
You're the opposite here.
No,
buddy
but you're
boy.
saving. It's a positive there.
Right.
Yeah, but then I'll like. What happens if I rent it? I'm like, oh, I need more time, so I'll just go buy it. It's like, oh, I saved this, but really I bought half of this.
All right, next matchup are your Japanese versions of English video games against aggressively bidding with contestants on The Price is Right.
Okay, I know where
Buying
we're gonna
Japanese
vote.
versions of video games.
Yeah.
Let me explain it before. I think we.
What is there to explain? You just have those games sitting there with no,
can't
no
play
ability
them.
to play
Time
them.
out. I didn't buy them new, so I didn't pay like $60 for these. I bought them used. And 2, we know that in the basement where those game consoles, I have displays that show things like my statues and stuff, and these are nice display pieces. Especially these ones in the boxes. These are different than English boxes, and they look unique. I think the Japanese boxes, they put more time into the box art. I think it looks cool. It's nice.
Why didn't you just buy the box?
Look, Andy. Probably a better idea.
I know, right? Because that's so annoying. Because if like we come over and we see like one of these Japanese games that you have, like, oh man, that looks cool. Can we play it? No.
I also
look
do.
at it, though.
What a letdown is that?
I do plan to buy the consoles. I bought the games first. Okay, so out of order, but I do plan to own the consoles.
I think you have to let the page load first.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Never mind.
Yeah, you.
So we all voting for this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think this one might march to the finals.
Yeah.
It's gonna
I
be close.
I think it's cool.
It
Okay. I think it's cool.
It's
just
very
might.
close to being cool, but it's not cool.
Okay, hold on.
So close.
I got some explaining for Bill on this one.
Yeah, this is another new one. We've got Bill's rule writing against bed fighting. What the fuck is bed
I want
fighting?
to know what bed fighting
Time out.
is.
Everyone-
It's a hobby.
I need to know.
Quickly, give me 2 sentences what you think bed fighting is.
Pillow fighting. I don't know. I fucking don't know.
Tom,
I would say having an argument while in bed.
Julian,
Showing up in a costume and then wrestling on the bed.
and Jerrick.
Screaming at each other in Darwin furniture about the bed frame that you want.
Julian might have been the closest.
Oh yeah. As soon as you said it, I just figured that was it.
I was the closest.
you were way off still, but the imagination part is the key here.
Oh.
This is a
All
text
right.
from Bill. When I was a kid before bed, I would be running a narrative in my head about being like a Goku-esque fighting guy with friends and enemies, and I'd act out these fight scenes. When I was a kid, I'd like get into it and throw fake punches and shit. I still sometimes do it, but without moving, just in my head.
Such a Vil thing. It's wonderful.
That's
I
fun.
love it.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
To be
And
fair,
I love it.
you know, we're all laughing. I've imagined things like this. I never got up and acted it out, but I've imagined being a
I love
Goku-esque
it.
fighter and fighting with my friends.
Mhm.
Yeah. I love it.
But the way he described
That also
it
sounds
made
like
me
a very
laugh.
Andrew-esque thing to do.
Oh, come on. Do not put Bill and then
We
Andrew.
were having so much fun.
Oh, and do I have to go bleep his name out
I'm
now?
sorry, Bill, but it sounds like something. I've known Andrew for a long time, and I know that that's something that he would do.
Do I have to bleep out his name now? I'm just not gonna. The episode 16, I have to bleep out all
sorry.
of our cities.
He who shall not be named.
Voldemort.
Name's taboo.
Who we vote? What are we voting on this one?
Ah. I
I
love
rules.
the bed fighting, so I'm going writing rules.
I love the writing the
I'm
rules.
going writing rules because I do like bed fighting.
I'll also go with writing rules.
Oh, Tom, you joining me on
I'm
bed
wholesome
fighting?
about the bed fighting.
No, because I don't think that's really a hobby either.
I think it's a hobby. If you do this consistently and you're
Our
like acting
definition
out,
of a hobby differs greatly.
I did consider changing this to hobby and habits. Because I don't really have any habits I'd put on here. I just have weird hobbies.
Yeah.
So consider it hobby and habit, but I'd still vote for bed fighting. And we're
Okay.
saving. Can we see
Taking our
what's in
sweet
it?
time. There we
Okay.
go. Wait, it didn't save.
That's fine.
Well, we'll know about it later.
Yeah.
All right, while we're doing that, we can debate learning about religions and cults and watching Vine compilations. I still believe that learning
Both
about
of them
anything.
aren't really weird, though.
I go with Vine compilations.
Yeah.
Oh, boo.
Oh, boo. All right, so we got 2 for Vine here. How you guys feeling about religions and cults versus Vine? Dave, Tom, and Andy.
I'm going Vine.
I'm going with religions and cults.
Wait, you just said Vine. Damn it. Oh, wait, Dave. Okay. Julian said Tom?
I didn't say just say vines. I just
Yeah,
Mistaken.
he
Tom?
mixed me and you up.
I'm probably
Yeah.
gonna go with the religions and cults.
All right. We got Andy with the tiebreaker here.
It's Vine compilations. There's nothing redeeming about Vine compilations.
I
least
feel
you're
the
yes,
same.
there
learning
is
about-
just hours of fun.
I know, and it was I like it. I like doing it, but like, you can learn things about religions and use them in conversation and write books about them. It's like, I can't just go up to someone and say, free Shavakadu, and like,
That's
maybe
true.
cue
I have no
people.
idea what that is.
Exactly.
I feel threatened.
You think I'm a
though.
fucking idiot.
I'd be like, who's Shavaka doing? What do they do?
I wonder if that's even in the coloring book. Oh, I don't know. It
All
might be.
right. So next we've got lists going up against far-right political cartoons. Tom might not find this one a hobby, but it got added. This is something Dominic does to me. So this is like a Dominic hobby. What happens is his brother will send him far-right political cartoons, and he'll send them to me and act like he's part of the far right.
Be clear, neither him or his brother are far right.
I also want to, because we're not necessarily
His brother.
we're not necessarily a political show, but when I describe far right, I'm talking about like Nazi sympathizers.
Oh yeah, you're probably talking about like Ben Garrison shit.
Some of them are Ben Garrison shit, but I
I'm
like.
assuming Stone Toss might be in there if you said Nazi. So
Yeah, there's some Nazi sympathizing, like fascist kind of ideology political cartoons. So this isn't like liberal conservative. This is very much like fascist Nazi kind of cartoons. And then he'll act like that person while he's texting me. It's funny. I'm glad this one is the last one we have to explain to. Between this and bed fighting, we saved the 2 best for last.
Bed fighting.
Bed fighting.
I mean,
think
actual
lists are
worst, sure, far right. Like, lists are cool.
cool.
Yeah, I gotta go with
I
the
like
far right
lists.
too.
Agreed.
Julian.
Oh, I'll go with far right. Yeah, far right. Make it a sweep.
I like how Julian's like, "Yep, I'm far right."
We're all far right today, boys.
Oh no.
Yeehaw!
Please no.
Yeah, it's not
Oh
safe.
boy.
All right.
Speaking of far right, where's your dog?
She's down. She was right here. Andy, you want to read off the next
Yeah,
one?
last one is you collecting retro game consoles against Dave's VTubers.
Mhm.
This is a tough one for me.
So
This one's a tough one.
here's the difference between the two. One of them is, well, Dave makes his a financial burden, but I'd say one is more of a financial burden, while the other one is kind of taboo and probably weirder, I'd say.
I would say the problem with collecting retro video game consoles is it's just kind of like rampant consumerism.
Yes.
So
Yes. I like that.
VTubers are taboo?
It's
to Andy, because he doesn't like anime.
He does like anime. He just doesn't want
He
to
doesn't want to
admit it.
admit it. That's why he thinks it's taboo, because he's afraid to say he likes it.
You don't think it's taboo? So you wouldn't go.
Do I think a lot of people would be like, "Oh, this is weird"? Sure, but do
Yeah,
I
that's
think
taboo.
that matters?
That's
Do I
what
think that
taboo is.
matters in any way at all?
No.
I don't think it's weird enough or viewed as weird enough to be a taboo. It's not incest, which is a taboo.
Okay. I'm not comparing it to incest.
But that's a taboo. Taboo is a strong
Okay.
word, and something being weird isn't
Okay.
strong enough for taboo.
I openly talk about my game collecting. Dave, do you go to work and talk to all your coworkers about your VTubers?
I have mentioned VTubers to Michael before, yes.
Michael, anyone else?
Because nobody else is interested. I don't talk to video games about anyone else because nobody else is would be interested in that.
Oh, I've brought up, like, when people ask what my hobby is, I say hockey and I say game collecting.
I would
I-
tell people
I'm very-
I do VTubers. I watch VTubers.
Okay. That's all I wanted. I didn't know where you said.
Yeah, I would.
thought you thought it was more.
No,
of a,
I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed of watching VTubers. There's nothing to be ashamed about that.
I'm not saying there is. I'm just saying.
You're the one
Voting
calling it
based on who
taboo.
has the stronger will.
Oh, I don't care about that. I don't get the VTubers just because I don't understand why it's any different than game streaming. So why isn't game streaming on here then?
Because I don't watch. Because I'm watching VTubers.
But what
it's
is it?
its
How
own
is it?
category.
I just don't understand how it's that different, other than there's being an anime character.
This is such a weird hang up.
I don't know. I'll go with game streaming. Or the VTubers. Same
I'm
thing.
going with retro games.
I'm going
I'm
with
gonna go with
retro
the
games
VTubers.
off of the fact that I just like Dave's argument better than I like Jared's.
I gotta go with the VTubers.
Oh, shit. Oh, man, I feel bad.
No, go with whatever.
I don't.
Yeah, Andy, go with
Neither-
whatever.
Neither of these are bad to me. Like, VTubers might not be, my cup of tea, but
Is it the weirder
pretty
thing?
harmless.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know. Fuck you. I'm going with the game consoles.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Now we don't have to
yeah.
talk about VTubers anymore.
I keep saying I'm gonna watch VTubers. I'm actually gonna do it this
There's
time.
a
I'm gonna
handful
commit.
of good English ones too now. So if you want to understand what they're saying, there's quite a
Okay.
few.
Also, watching something I don't understand, I don't get either.
All right, down to our Elite Eight, finally. Bad reality TV against spending days installing those Skyrim mods and getting nothing out of them.
Skyrim.
I'll say
Skyrim,
Skyrim
easy.
has
Yeah.
met something that is more time consuming in the bad reality TV shows.
Yeah, but you get entertainment out of it. I get like a couple hours of like that was a good, well spent time.
I go with
Yeah, I gotta go with
Skyrim.
Skyrim.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, at least
Yeah.
reality TV, you have
It's
talking
so
points
stupid.
and you get a
It's so
conversation.
dumb. It's really stupid.
All right, next up, getting all those items from the library and then making an embarrassing trip back, or buying those Japanese versions of English games that you can't play.
I still don't get the library.
Library,
thing.
easy.
I'm going the Japanese
You
one.
do
'cause
it
the
every
library,
3 weeks.
The library one is financially smart and like it's cool. Like you're supporting your local library, which is a great thing. So I'm gonna go with buying the thing that you can't even play.
Well,
Yeah, I'm
good.
going with the Japanese versions as well.
I could display mine. Andy's got to give his back.
I'm
That's
going
fine.
with
Them
getting
again.
8 items.
What was that, Tom? You did the Japanese?
Yes.
No, you said 8
No.
items.
No,
Getting-
8 items.
No, getting 8 items.
Wow,
Excellent.
okay.
Because what part of it is, it's like it's such a specific number too. It's like sometimes I would think, sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 4. No, but it's consistently 8, which is such a odd choice of items to get every 3 weeks.
And you already know you can't consume all of that meat.
I know. I never learned my lesson.
Why are you doing it? I can at least
One
go and
day-
buy the console and play these.
That
one
was such
day.
a good point.
One day I will consume all of that media in 3
Yeah.
weeks, and then I'll just never go to the fucking library again. Like I
Yeah,
did
who
it, I
cares?
won.
Who cares if you own it? Like,
Oh man.
I,
All right.
I
Yeah.
can spend $50 and solve my problem, and he keeps making the same mistake.
I don't think it's a mistake. I don't think it's a problem. You're getting something for free and then turning it back and then getting it free again.
But he's not getting the same ones again.
That's fine. It's a library. That's how that works.
I just don't get the process.
Well, we'll talk more later. We'll talk more
Yeah,
later.
it's still
all
on
right.
the list.
Bottom half of our Elite Eight. Bill's rule writing against watching hours of Vine compilations.
Fine. I
Okay,
want
this one
somebody
I
watches
actually have to go
TikTok
with Vine on this one.
Yeah, I gotta go with this because I watch TikTok too, and I spend too much time on that.
Vine is better than TikTok.
Yeah,
I like
I
TikTok
agree
just
there.
fine.
I like TikTok, but Vine is better.
Vine hits different. I'm gonna go Vine.
Just hits different. Vine for me
Just
as
hits
well.
different.
Yeah.
we got some Vine hate now.
Oh, dear.
I love Vine.
This is not anymore, Julian. Just admit you hate Vine, Julian.
All right,
I don't hate Vine at all. You just won't fully commit to liking anime. That's my issue.
All right.
All right, lastly are those far-right political cartoons that Dom makes sense and pretends to support against collecting retro game consoles.
This is a no-brainer.
Game consoles.
All right, political con.
Oh,
I was gonna say,
All right. I mean,
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
all right, political cartoons.
the fact I have to see Tom, are you agreeing to this, by the way?
Yes.
The fact I have to read these bullshit things.
All right, we've got a beautiful Final Four here. This is just exactly what I wanted when we came up with this.
If you picked something to go far, is yours still here?
I didn't pick anything.
I
Mine
didn't.
is.
No, mine's gone.
Oh, mine is definitely here.
All right, top half.
I have
spending-
to live one of these.
Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy. I have 2 of them that I have to live. Spending days installing the Skyrim mods or getting 8 items from the library and taking them all back.
Both these juggernauts have. This is tough.
I'm going with the days installing because I don't think there's anything wrong with the second
Days
one.
Installing
There's
Skyrim.
nothing wrong with the second one. There's a lot wrong with that first one.
Yeah, the Skyrim mods is. I don't get
To be
either
fair,
of
there's
these.
something wrong
and-
with you if you enjoy both of these.
I gotta stick
But
with the
it's-
8
I can
items.
just imagine Dave just sitting at his desk for hours.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well, that was fun.
Now I can play the
That
game.
was it.
Nope.
I'm also voting for Skyrim. Yeah.
I just don't get
It's
it.
like if that one treasure chest doesn't open, he's going back to the drawing board.
Dave, how much have you played the mods? Like, do you install them and then play for an hour and then give up Skyrim for like 2
No,
months?
so I always intend to spend a lot of time playing this because I like this. This goes back not even just Skyrim. This goes back to like Fallout New Vegas. This goes back to Fallout 3. This goes back to Oblivion.
Look at Julian. Just
So you've been doing this for years.
Yeah, I've been doing
Oh my
this.
god.
I've been doing this since Oblivion, for like all the Bethesda games. The problem though is specifically with Skyrim, I don't have the fucking free time to sit down and play Skyrim for that long. Whereas back when I did Oblivion, Fallout 3, New Vegas, I had tons of time to actually sit down and play it. But now I get done modding it, I want to play it, but then I'm like, actually, should I be spending like 6 hours playing this game right now? Probably not. That was a waste of time.
What did you make up for it with the mods?
Yeah, so it's specifically Skyrim.
I don't know why this one makes me laugh so hard.
Because it's funny. All right, Skyrim moves on to the finals.
Oh my God,
As
Bottom
expected.
half, far-right political cartoons and watching Vine compilations.
Oh, what's worse, the far right or Vine? I don't know. I'm going with far right political. This is the one I have to live through with Dominic. I live through it. Like every time I'll like
Far-right
he'll start
political cartoons.
he'll start a conversation
All right.
and talking, and then he'll send me one and he'll change his personality. I'm like, what is happening?
From anyone other than Dom, I'd be like, what the fuck? But Dom, I'm like, I know you're joking. You probably shouldn't, but I know at least.
If I scroll through my text history with Dominic, it'll mostly be this.
Dom is legitimately the only one that I think that can pull that off for me.
Like it's
So,
consistent, and like I'll get 3 a week.
I'm going with Dom. All right.
Yeah,
It is-
same.
It's great.
Tom, I don't know if you can hear us right now, but sir, thank you for your patience. You've been so great.
Yeah, he ain't saying shit.
He is not saying shit.
Maybe he's installing a Skyrim.
Yeah.
We should have started that at about 6 in the morning. All right, well, we'll move on. He'll come back. Lastly, okay, we've got our finals. Andy, I will repeat the question you said 2 minutes ago. Is anyone's first choice in the finals? Okay. Oh boy.
I don't know if it's gonna win, but one of these is a surprising juggernaut to me. But it's not surprising when I hear more about it.
Here's the final little nail in the coffin of the Skyrim one. When I got my VR headset set up, I also spent a long time modding Skyrim in VR, and that was extra time of learning, like, oh, what works in VR and what doesn't. That was a lot of effort to be like, does this mod work in VR? Because I don't know what the mechanics of this in VR. Now, here's the actual final nail in the coffin. As recently as 3 weeks ago, I considered modding Skyrim to play it, knowing full well that this entire information I've given you has not changed 3 weeks ago under this current assumption of what I've told you now. I considered doing it again.
I just scrolled up to the last week in September with my text conversation with Dominic. There have been 7 alt-right things. This includes Facebook comment sections.
I think I've killed Julian.
I think I can giggle anymore after this shit. Oh my god.
The one thing with Dominic, though,
I might go start installing Skyrim mods after this call.
The one thing, though, with me and Dominic,
Don't
which
do
makes
it.
me want to vote for Dave's, is Dominic doesn't just send me alt-right stuff. He sends me lots of things. Anything goofy. So the thing that makes the alt-right one funnier is when he starts acting. And he'll start mistyping things.
Yeah, but that's like, you've experienced that. But the thing that's hilarious about spending days installing Skyrim is the fact that it's for the intent to play. It's just that he just doesn't.
Look, no one's arguing against Dave's terrible hobby.
Every now and then I'm like, this will be the last time I do it because I'm going to get the perfect mod set. I'm not going to, because, I mean, who's making mods for Skyrim still? Turns out a lot of people. But I'm like, this is just going to be my final version of Skyrim. I'll never have to do this again in the future. If I'm like, let's play some Skyrim, I have it done, finished, done. Never happens. It never happens like that.
So we all vote in Skyrim because this sounds really stupid.
I'm going Skyrim.
Tom?
Oh, I gotta go with Skyrim just for that.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, me too.
Oh God, Dave, what have you done?
You're going to see someone say the same thing online, too, about the same problem.
Oh, God.
So my pick did not win.
With the political cartoon.
I will say, I forgot that something wasn't. I thought I had buying anime Blu-rays, and I forgot that it wasn't on there. So I just wanted to shout out that I buy a lot of limited edition anime.
That's
Blu-rays.
cool.
This one has rings in them.
What we learned today is bad hobbies are either financially based or, more importantly, time based. As Dave spends hours doing nothing.
Basically.
Literally doing nothing.
Basically.
Jesus.
I can just see Dave playing this shit in ER. That's not supposed to be there.
Well, now that I've said it, I'll uninstall.
No, yeah.
Christ.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh.
Although
So-
I will say I don't get the library one either. I know Dave is now full support. of it.
Whatever, it's a
Library was
library.
pretty funny.
I just don't get the 8 items in one trip and going back and not getting
Yeah,
items.
Tom made a pretty good point about like
The number,
8
yeah.
items specifically.
Yeah, the number. But like when you're like, oh, wouldn't you rather buy it? Like, no, that's the point of a library. You don't have to buy it.
Well,
Test
here's
stuff
how
out.
when you make the same
Yeah.
mistake over and over again, isn't that the sign of a psychopath?
No.
It's a sign of insanity.
That's what it is.
Definitely not a psychopath, but I am insane when it comes to my library.
My dog's
That's right,
barking.
Murray. No, Julian's not in the room.
Listen, you ain't finding my version of
Go lay
Skyrim
down, man.
library.
Go lay down.
All right. So what did everyone else choose to potentially be a winner?
Right.
I just kind of went with the flow on this one. I didn't pick anything.
Yeah,
I
didn't
thought
think-
Yeah,
the-
none of them really stuck out as terrible hobbies, so I couldn't really pick one.
Hindsight.
I thought the Japanese games-
Not one.
I love my Japanese games. I didn't think that'd go far.
It did. It did.
No,
Should've went farther.
Like as soon as Dave went into explaining the Skyrim one, I knew that one had to be the winner.
Yeah, when Dave
Every
started
time I just-
explaining it, there's no way.
And you got to be careful about compatibility issues. Then you got to go and make your own handmade patch to fix them.
It's more time than it's
You're
worth,
like, no.
Dave.
The elf race is supposed to have these stats and this item, not that. It's
I'm
Sounds
hurting.
so
I'm
tedious.
it is.
It's hurting, Dave.
And every
Stop
time
it.
I'm like, this will be the last time. I'll never have to do this
Like I
again.
could
And then
legitimate.
Fun and tedious.
I could just imagine like just hair, just sweat matted to your forehead, just hanging.
I gotta go get my Skyrim mod towel. I gotta wipe this off.
Skyrim ain't gonna mod itself, I guess.
All right, guys. I think that's going to do it for this episode, unless anyone else has any hot takes about hobbies.
No, I think this pretty much
No.
is accurate.
I say do what you love.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, that makes the most sense. Just do what makes you happy and fuck everybody else.
I mean, we clearly do.
That's right. Once again,
yeah.
I'd like to plug our social media. Instagram is at Bracket Up Podcast. Twitter is bracket_up. Like Andy Mysek said earlier, we're on YouTube. We are on Google Podcasts, Apple, whatever, a bunch of other independent
A
places.
bunch of other crap. Spotify.
There you go. I always forget about Spotify. Spotify, too. So that'll do it. Our worst hobby of a Bracket Up member is spending days installing a Skyrim mod or multiple Skyrim mods.
It's over 300 easily.
Over 300 Skyrim
Probably
mods.
more like 400.
Between 300 and 400 Skyrim
No,
mods.
I'm saying 400 plus now. It's-
Over 400 Skyrim mods. to only play these for a couple hours max. It's awful. But for everybody else here on Bracket Up, for Andy Mysek, the anime master, for Dave Holloway, the Big Bear, the Skyrim Bear, for Greek Lightning, Tom Kairos, and for the Giggle King, Julian Griffin, I am Handy Dandy, Andy Jerrick. We'll see you next time. And I know what we're doing tonight, guys. We're doing another Skyrim mod.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.